Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship, the road to VCT 2021 for the South Asia region. Now, I'm Nikhil C.A. Bansali, and joining me is Neeraj Necro Sangle, joining you here for the Pakistan and Afghanistan Qualifier 1 finals, the chance for each of these teams to grab that first slot into the Grand Finals. How are you doing, Necro?
I'm absolutely doing fantastic, man. Hopefully you're doing fantastic as well. But yesterday's semifinal, high action-packed gameplay, as I would like to say. I could feel the intensity. I could feel the heat. I can already tell what we're getting set up for today. What do you think so, man? How things going to be turning out?
I think it's going to be really interesting because, of course, unlike our previous qualifier finals, there's no clear favorite here. There's no clear meta either. Both of these teams play very different styles, which makes this matchup an enigma of sorts where I'm excited to see which team is just able to, reaffirm their identity going into grand finals. It's going to be very important that they have a strong style. So let's see what happens. We're talking about the prize pool, $33,000 up for grabs. That's a lot of money.
Exactly. That's a lot of money in itself. And if we talk about how kind of things went down yesterday, I mean, yeah, as I did mention, right? I mean, when it comes to aim, of all these teams in the Pakistan region are absolutely cracked. Without a doubt, they're absolutely insane when it comes to those mechanical skill in general. But I feel like I can definitely see a little bit of room for improvement in the tactical manner. Maybe today in the finals, as teams have realized that this is kind of a do or die moment, maybe we can see a little bit of more tactical approach.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think we talked about it yesterday as well, right? The importance of that. But for now, let's take a look at the schedule of the entire Valorant Conquerors Championship. Try to understand what stakes are really there and what it all leads up to. So as you can see, we're right now at the Pakistan-Afghanistan Qualifier 1. Coming up really soon, the action ramping up, Nepal and Bhutan, immediately Sri Lanka, Maldives, before we finish off with the Bangladesh. And then there's that qualifier 2 action, which reminds me, these teams, they've still got a shot if they lose today, but you've got to try and win today itself. Try to confirm it today.
Exactly. I mean, they definitely do have a little bit of shot here and there, even if you guys don't make it, but still, try your best, try your best to at least ace it at the first time, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait for the second opportunity to try. Give your best every single time. Even if you do lose out of this, there's always a win-win situation. You're learning a lot of things. You're always, coming out on top with those learning experiences. In the future, you can always try and minimize all the mistakes that you made. And then in the future, you can try and work around it.
Definitely. And it also adds into the factor that the team that wins today gets to watch that qualifier too without participating. They get to develop their meta because something of an untalked point is the idea that KO is going to be coming in soon into the scene in itself. So the team that gets to win today gets to try out KO in the background, bring it as a surprise factor, and look at how other teams are really using that agent. So it's added stakes, like the money, of course, the bragging rights, the qualifier spot, but then the idea of getting that extra time for preparation, I think, just stops it all off, the cherry on the cake.
Exactly. It's cherry on top of the cake, without a doubt. And I mean, if you take a look at the tournament explanation as well, 2 slots from India, 2 slots from Pakistan, Afghanistan, as you did mention, even if you're not going to be able to make it in this one, in the future, you might just as well, but still try and give it your best. On the other hand, Bangladesh 1 slot, Sri Lanka and Maldives 1 slot as well, Nepal, Bhutan 1, and then you have wild card, and then you go to grand final playoffs, and then last chance qualifier.
Absolutely. It's one hell of a journey, and it ends up with one hell of a reward if you do push through to that journey all the way. So I'm excited to see what these teams right here, right now have to offer. And talking about those teams, Arrow and the side of Salt Esports, both of them coming off of really good wins. What do you think about them?
I mean, look, yesterday, if we talk about Arrow, I mean, how things really went down against Namak Boys there, I felt like not a lot of efforts were being put from Namak Boys, In the end, it was just kind of like a W key game. Arrow easily got that win. But against, I feel like Team Exploit and Salt, there was a little bit of tacticality, a little bit of defensive nature. I felt like it was kind of a 1-2-1 competition going on between Team Exploit and Salt definitely came out on top. And as I did mention last time as well, we did not expect Salt to actually make it to finals. Team Exploits, each and every single caster put the bet on them, but then in the end Salt completely surprised us and they came out in the finals. And now as well, if you take a look at the best of 5, we already do have in the finals Salt and Arrow. And I honestly think this is going to be a real close one.
I will say I do miss that logo for Namak Boys in the finals. But at the end of the day, it's not the logo that gets you there, it's your gameplay. And talking about that gameplay, I think for me, Arrow have been playing phenomenally. The only really thing that I'm wondering how it's going to go down today is for both of the teams such a different playstyle. Arrow, you see Prota running that solo Sky composition, does mean that in most situations you lack that reliable info. And I'm expecting Salt to have seen the words, to have understood that because of that solo Sky, the aggression is the name of the game for Team Arrow. And I want to see how Salt is able to counter.
Exactly. And as I also had like kind of question going inside this. What do you think about the map, Vito? What do you think? I feel like Breeze is of course going to get banned, but what do you think? Which other maps might just be banned here?
I think, of course, Breeze is the expected ban. We only get to see one ban, so it's important to see which team does end up going through. But let's take a look at the predictions themselves, see what we have said for ourselves and what the audience really. And oh my God, all right, the audience definitely favoring Salt Esports and you as well, Necro. But the rest of us think Arrow gonna take it away. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, Salt all the way, baby. Salt all the way. I like Salt myself. I'm always a person who likes a lot of salt over my food, so I'm going to always go with Salt without a doubt. No, but jokes all apart, I feel like Salt is a pretty great team in general. Each and every single player is pretty flexible from that squad, and I feel like Salt can definitely make it out of this finals.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just a matter of there were a few glaring errors that I saw Salt make. But then again, on the other side, maybe Arrow didn't really get a tough competition. Nothing to take away from Namak Boys, but it did feel like they were slightly apart in terms of just pure skill and tacticality. So the true test for Arrow going to be today, they need to turn up in the highest of highest stakes with the finals on the line as well as the spots. So I want to see, do we get to see the same Arrow from the way we saw against Namak Boys against a slightly top tier team in Salt Esports, or will Salt Esports just pick them apart piece by piece?
Oh man, look, this is really going to be interesting to see what's exactly going to be happening. But I feel like in the future we are going to be seeing the map Vito, and I really want to see what exactly has been happening here. So we already see Bind being picked by Team Arrow. They were stomping Namak Boys yesterday on Bind, but also I feel like Salt is pretty great on Bind when it comes to it. Then Ascent being picked by Salt, which is pretty, expectable. But this time, look at this. We thought Breeze is going to get banned, but no.
I have to say, Necro, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this choice by Salt Esports. Of course, I'm happy to see if they do have something planned otherwise, but Haven, one of those maps where the lack of a server can actually be really punished, where you need that server to give you reliable info. Arrow doesn't play that. So it's almost like you're taking away an easily contested map. And I do wonder if that's purely because of Darky's Cypher. We saw how influential he was able to be. And in general, we expect that Cypher to be ridiculously strong on Haven. But going into Breeze now, a map that has been picked, and that is a guaranteed because it's map 3. So we are going to see it for sure. The solo Sky composition that Arrow already runs, it really does put them in a comfortable position going into Breeze. It's just a matter of which player can pick up that Viper, because that's another pick that is extremely important. I expect Darky to carry on to Cypher. But for now, let's take a look at the players to watch today and which players we definitely need to keep an eye on. I expect one of them, I was going to say I expect one of them to be Stranger, because he's no stranger to those high-pressure clutch situations, is he?
Exactly, man. Stranger, of course, he was doing quite a great job yesterday from Salt. We did see him just kind of step up the boundaries there. In the end, Dark was just absolutely stomping over Namak Boys. But as you did mention, it didn't really feel like Arrow was getting a tough competition against Namak Boys. Nothing taken away. They were trying their level best, but still, it felt like Team Arrow was easily stomping over Namak Boys. And now I feel like this is where the real true levels will be tested off Team Arrow. But on the other hand, what do you think of Hats? Like, what do you think? So which Asian is he going to play?
See, that's what really swayed me towards Arrow. Like, I like to reiterate the fact that I do think it's very close. If I had to, like, even though I predicted Arrow, I think it's 55-45 in Arrow's favor. And that 5% is purely because of the duelists of the side of Salt Esports. When Trick was playing the Jet, he was unstoppable. He was hitting insane shots left, right, center. And the same could be said for Hats. The issue is when one player is playing the Jet, it feels like the other player turns off. We saw that from Trick as well on Haven. Not as strong as on the Reyna as we saw him on the Jet. So that makes me wonder who gets the Jet today. Is it going to be Hats, who performed way better on the Jet than he did on his Raze? Or is it going to be Trick, who performed insanely, especially with the operator on Bind as well? So the fact that they ban Haven altogether does make me feel like today we might see a solo duelist composition from Salt Esports, with Hats likely playing that controller the way he played Astra on Bind as much as possible, sticking to Trick on that Jet so they can have that operator guaranteed.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. That's kind of a real in-depth description you have given about these lads, without a doubt. But yeah, on the other hand as well, right? Stranger, the man, he likes to play Sova in Bind in general, and we did see Bind kind of being picked by them. So, what do you think of this, man? So, what do you think? I mean, of course, he has been pretty impactful in general, but against Team Arrow, I mean, what do you think? What are your expectations from Stranger?
The thing is, my biggest concern from Exploit yesterday was that they were not aggressive enough to punish Stranger. My mind instantly goes back to that 2 HP clutch that he was able to pull off on Bind, where, in my opinion, the natural way to retake on A is you take lamps first every single time. To add on to that, they knew that Beast was over in that A short area. So the fact that they did not pressure Stranger and take lamps puts a big question mark over that entire play for me. And I don't think Arrow is going to make that same mistake. We've seen the aggression from them. I think all of us agree on the fact that in general, while Namak Boys did not give them as much competition as we would have liked, we did see a lot more tacticality from Arrow as compared to Salt itself. So I expect them to be much stronger on those spontaneous decisions. And that's the Hats play is where the 5% for me just went towards the side of Arrow. I really want to see if I'm wrong, though, because I do think Salt has the potential in them to put up a really strong fight.
I feel like Salt are actually going to be winning it because what happened yesterday? Okay, look, I still can't be making any adjustments, but as you did mention, and as I also mentioned, that there wasn't really the true potentials of Arrow weren't really being tested against Namak Boys. So inside this, I felt like even in the previous game, Arrow wasn't really being that tactical because they just didn't have any kind of need. All they were doing, some normal flanks were coming in from the back lines, and then already Namak Boys are trying their best to fight off against the lads of Arrow, but Arrow was just looking really strong in general. So I feel like today is the day where Salt needs to show the real tacticality, including the same thing goes with Arrow. But I feel like yesterday, Salt was the team that pretty much showed the most tactical or defensive gameplay in general.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you said defensive, because I do think that's one of Salt's biggest strengths. The way they're able to just set up their defaults, even with the breach on Bind, they play extremely good defensively. They don't make it a necessity that they take aggressive control. Once Trick got that off, we saw the breach actually on Beast playing a lot of solo playstyle, even getting in a couple of lurks in there, which meant that he's much more self-sufficient. And that gives me a lot of hope for what they might actually come up against in that map of Bind. But to think back to the veto, Arrow picked up this map of Bind. They know what to expect. They know that Casper usually plays that solo Sage anchor role where he cuts down one angle. So I want them to try and pressurize that Sage early as much as possible. Deny him that the fact that he was playing Hookah in pretty much the entire map of Bind yesterday against Exploit Som. Make him a bit uncomfortable, make him switch. Try to get him to go over to A short, because if you clear up Hookah and you have a Sky in your team, it's so easy to take.
Exactly. It's really easy to take. And on the other hand, man, Trick on that operator with Jet, of course, this man is just an unstoppable force. This man is like a force to be reckoned with, without a doubt. And then you have coming in Stranger as well. At the same time, he's doing a great job supporting his team with those recons out there. And then Trick just in the back lines, doing the role of entering the side. And if he has the operator staying in the back line and connecting those crucial headshots, I feel like Trick is more impactful in defense rather than offense. And I feel like Stranger is really good in both anchoring down the side as well, and at the same time on aggression.
Yeah, I feel like Stranger is just the perfect all-round player. We talked
Flexible,
about
yeah.
how he's sort of the once-in-a-generation talent,
Yeah.
and I want to see if that was a one-time show. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a fan of Stranger all the way through,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to see if he can switch up his playstyle to match the aggression of the side of Team Arrow, because what he got yesterday was a lot of time and space to make his moves and really think about what he wants to do. And we saw already that he excels in that. So we know if Arrow gives him the time
Yeah.
and space, Stranger will come out. But we know Arrow, they don't like to do that. They like to get in your face and they like to take you down. So I want to see if Stranger can adapt on the fly, if he can make those quick decisions and come out on top. Nevertheless, I do have the faith in him. So that does make me feel, even though I predicted Arrow, that this should go at least 4 maps, if not 5 maps. And I'm excited to see what these teams come out on Breeze, especially because we haven't seen them at all. But hey, let's go over to the agent select screen, see what we got in so far.
Look, honestly, I mean, I feel like judging over Arrow's gameplay, how they played yesterday, not a lot can be said over there, right? Because I feel like yesterday, Arrow didn't play in their true ways, because Dummock Boys was like pretty much an easy job for them. They easily took down Dummock Boys without any efforts being shown. So I feel like judging from the previous gameplay that Arrow showed against Dummock Boys, I do not feel like that's the real way to tell like what kind of gameplay they have, because I still feel like there's still an anonymous factor about Arrow's gameplay inside the game without a doubt. But on the other hand, Salt, they're pretty much readable up till now. They can be easily read out, and I feel like hopefully Arrow has done their homework.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the way you put it, because it's exactly as you said, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, Arrow do have that surprise factor because they did not really show everything. They still got cards up their sleeves. They still have the ace in the hole. So it does mean they have that surprise factor going in. But, and this is a big but, Salt have been tested against one of the best teams in the tournament that we expected to really be the favorites of Qualifier 1 going in. And they've beaten them. So they've got that experience. They've become, really tested by the fire itself. And now they're ready to just push it all the way through. So I want to see which side of the sword does come up. If Arrows like playing against Dummock Boys actually works for them, or it just ends up being a guillotine that just chops their head off.
I like how you put that, guillotine that just chops their head off. Well, MSK, it seems like his webcam's missing here today, man. I miss him there. But okay, it's fine. Arrow now already seems like they're looking pretty good on this side, but an interesting switch. 3 players on A side. Usually we do see 3 players set up on B. But this time it seems like we're going to be seeing 3 players on instead on B. Okay, understandable. 3 players on A. And look at that, already dash being made. You can take a look at it in the minimap, and Darky already finding himself that opening on a trick. That's just going to be opening a lot of things for them. Wall being already broken, and look at this aggression from Casper. How did we forget to talk about this man? Casper is just always there for the team, using that stage. And I just feel like he's just so good, even utilizing Astra in the right way. Stranger peeks in at the right time, just connects that crucial head start and says bye-bye Darky, not today. This is where Casper needs to fall back and heal himself, because there is a little bit of crossfire being set up from Stranger. Jet moving in slowly and steadily. He also has a frenzy in the hand, and Casper is just there, creating that anonymous angle, taking them both down.
Saul playing that pistol beautifully, able to use that sage wall to cause a lot of chaos and get Trick into the site early, allowed Casper to just follow up as that pseudo-duelist really and pick up the kills for himself, thus netting them that pistol. Now going into the next round, it's going to be the Spectres as a reward, and I do really want to see how Arrow responds to this. I talked yesterday a lot about those gamble moves you can make. I don't expect them to come out this early, but still you can try and force your way through, pick up a couple kills, and I think the only silver lining to note from the last round is Darky picked up a double already. But look at this, 4 Sheriffs. It is a little bit of an investment from Arrow. So if they don't cause some damage, they are going to be punished in there by itself, likely life shields because of that. Now there's Aftershock. Now that it's buffed, you just got to get out there. You cannot even try to dodge it. And because of that, Lamp's control gained, the wall put up, the spike will go down.
Oh, look at that, already the opening being found. Gothchild does have that kind of angle, that cheeky angle in, but not really able to connect any shots. But he did fire some shots, so that should give his position away. But Tom slowly, steadily moving inside. That flash was absolutely great, but it doesn't matter. Beast is there to trade things out and make things even on his side. And look at this Casper, though, overstepping his boundaries there a little bit, being over-aggressive in those kind of situations. But it doesn't matter. Beast is there. Beast will be closing the round out in Salt's favor. But still, I mean, 2 players are down from their side, so I feel like a little bit of economy damage was being made from them. But it doesn't really matter. As long as they're getting another round in their hands, then that should establish the Salt domination in the game.
Definitely, considering that they bought 4 sheriffs in this round, you can see now, as I was talking about, that punishment in the buy, all 5 of them on the light shields. So they're gonna have to be really careful about how they peek, because of the light shields now, that Spectre takes 1 less bullet to take you out, and it allows them, Salt Esports, to play that bonus effectively, just try and damage the economy as much as possible. Now, looking at the defensive setups for the side of Arrow, it's very similar to what we've seen before, the dynamic duo of that Jet and Sky playing that B long, the Astra on the lurk, and then Cypher and Reyna playing that A effectively. All of the Cypher utility put down in that A shot, but he still got Child on the map. He's still pushing in, and he's gonna get punished. Casper, ready for that aggression, takes him down instantly.
For now, already we do see some kind of setups happening here and there. 1 kill is already being found. A little bit of aggressive, trying to go aggressive there from the side of Arrow. And he is, as we did mention, right, yesterday, we did see those aggressive pushes kind of coming out against Namuk Boys, but they need to realize, even though they're playing against Salt, these are not Namuk Boys. Salt will give them kind of tough competition, and they did instantly punish that aggressive push out. Now, this is the problem here. It's a 4-on-5 situation, and if all 5 players rush on B, it would be really, really hard, really tricky to hold them off.
All 5 players coming in. The Rolling Thunder to start off. That block means that the entire site is covered, and Prota on that Sky is stunned. Elbow will be walled off, and in goes Salt to try and get the plant. The plant will easily go down, but Prota playing it beautifully. Still on the back of site. Able to get 1 kill. No, make it 2. Prota just holding on for dear life. Hats will find the trade, but it's your Darky here, now ready for the backup. All that time that Prota bought coming in fruition for his team. Now, Hats does get 1 kill, but because of that time, the Stranger now able to fade out MSK, but Pros don't fake, and Darky certainly isn't going to do so. Darky going for the full defuse. It wasn't an open plant, and the round goes through for them. Having said that, all of the weapons lost, so the economy still in a bit of a dire situation.
Not a bit, it's quite a lot of bad situation there. Now, they will probably have to go for some kind of semi-buys because they don't really have any other choice. On the other hand, we do see kind of Vandals being popped out. Still looking decent though, looking decent. They still do have Spectres and Vandals out. And here we go. Now, all Spectres, pretty much SMGs versus kind of Vandals and Phantoms on the other side. Salt are looking pretty dominant up till now, at least in the buy phase, because their economy is looking pretty good. But the main problem here is if Salt pushes in aggressively, they will be punished in close range by those Spectres. So you want to make sure you're challenging those fights, especially in those long ranges.
Look at this though. I really like the setup change for the side of Arrow. They've grouped the duelists together, and they're pushing in B short, and they've got all of that control. The Cypher and the Astra just go to play slow, but MSK in long range from heaven, blind, manages to get a kill. That's a beautiful spam. Now the Seekers coming out for the side of Arrow, clears up their flank completely, and Sword getting pincered.
All getting pincered, and look at this, Trick down to only 3 HP. Pretty lucky to be there like that, but look at that Salt domination all the way. 3-on-1 already left. As soon as I blinked my eyes, things are looking already in the favor of Salt. TP being made, MSK instantly tries to go back behind him, but Hats is just really well aware of these kind of situations. We'll take him down.
And again, I see something that we've talked about even yesterday. It's the over-aggression. Not exactly even over-aggression, just I would say over-excitement, where once you've got that position down at A short, you don't need to push further. You don't really need to contest their position in the site because your team still has CT control, your team still has heaven control. So when they go for the spike plan, that's when you need to be aggressing forward and trying to deny them the spike itself. But they didn't do that. Instead, the 2 duelists and Prota tried to aggress early, and Salt got an easy opportunity. When they were getting pincered, they were like, you know what, we'll just turn on one angle, we'll find the fights there. They mowed all 3 of them down, and that flank threat completely down. Forces now an eco from the side of Team Arrow. Again, that B-shot aggression, while at the same time, you see the Astra, MSK, slowly taking Shar's control. So they've got a lot of info right now. They should expect players that belong.
Exactly, but look at this now. Salt... Till now, they've been doing quite great, but look at that. That's a good fight from Casper. And this is what they needed, right? Already the opening has been found, but this was just an eco. So, Arrow was being forced on an eco. Godchild's position compromises ball, and look at that flick from Casper! What is this? Casper! You are an absolute inhuman, and just like that! That's an inhuman ace right there. This man is flying around shooting people like it's nothing.
Casper is going to be haunting them in their dreams later today.
Oh my god.
No longer Casper the friendly ghost. Oh my god, that's nuts.
Oh.
The fact that he was able to spray out Godchild, but then instantly flick on towards that defensive spawn entry, and then while jumping through, take out Godchild as well. Gets the ace for himself. This Sage is truly battle Sage, and Arrow in a pickle right here. Even though it was their eco, I will say Arrow do need to step it up now with this round. Once again, grouping up the duelists together, playing that double anchor on the Cypher and Astra. They're going to try to take V-Long control, but that Sage slow, it does wonders to just delay them for a little bit, allow Salt to get into better positions, and because of the better positions, they're ready for this aggression. Now, Butsop still managed to get one. The jiggle is beautiful from Godchild and allows Butsop to push in from a narrow angle and get a double.
This time, getting caught off guard. Did not expect such kind of an aggression being shown from Arrow. That's a good double aggression from both sides, pushed in together. Salt got caught off guard. We're looking pretty good inside this game up till now, but now it's a 2-on-5 situation. Same thing happening. Up till now, Arrow was showing that over-aggressiveness, that overconfidence, and as soon as table turned in favor of Salt, they started showing that overconfidence again, and then now they will have to pay the price for it. Hat's still alive. I feel like the call should be made to save in these kind of situations. No one's going to be the answer. Instead, pushes in it. What? That shot! That if I was in Hat's place, I would have broken my mouse.
I feel it, that girl, because it wasn't just that shot. Like, I feel like Arrow in general have this tendency in them where they're really calm when it comes to controlling their spray. We saw it for Docky too earlier in this round. Missed the first few shots, but then just calmed himself down, repositioned his crosshair in, and of course, I say this very slowly, but all of his done in a matter of a few milliseconds, managed to get the kill. Arrow now with that round win are starting to put some pressure on the economy of Salt Esports, but considering that Salt did have a really nice win streak going, they still have that money. I think even if they lose this round, they will have one more buy before they're actually forced onto an eco. Again though, that B-long aggression, the double anchor setup on A, this time much more aggressive, expecting nobody to be there, and they're rewarded with the info that nobody in B courtyard. With all of these breach flashes going down A, it's a hard execute from Salt Esports on the side.
It's definitely a hard execute, and look at that. Hunter's Fury doing a lot of work. Stranger found himself that kill.
You will not
Darky, a big man falling down just like that, and here comes "You will not kill my allies." The resurrection's on point. Seeker's out. Arrow, I mean, look at this. Arrow's trying their best to defend, not expecting Hats there. Hats, quiet like a silent assassin, found himself that kill. And still, the spike hasn't been planted. 50 seconds in the clock. I don't really know what exactly Salt wants to do, because Casper does have that spike in his hands, but still he's thinking twice about this.
Just feels like Arrow don't have the brake system in their car, because right there, MSK did not need to push him so aggressively. Once he gets showers for himself, he just needs to hold on, wait for the plant, and then try to contest either the aggressive showers angle or the site itself. As you can see, Salt, they've realized that all they need to do once they take early control is hold on. Now, with the cooldowns back up, they're going to set up that flash, take out Godchild. Rotor with the instant trade back does mean Showers still a threat for the side of Salt Esports. It's really going to be up to Butsab. He has to take out Beast as well as try to get Lamp's control here, but he's not going to check the angle, and Beast in a beautiful spot to make sure this round goes over to Salt Esports.
Exactly, Beast is there as well in the back lines. Casper, yep, final kill, final blow. It's just to blow the head up, uppercut directly onto the head by Casper. Another round in the favor of Salt, 5-2. The Salt domination is already there. And it's just like some injury, you know, Salt being put onto the injury of arrows already. And we already do know when you are kind of hurt and you apply a little bit of salt, it does kind of sting, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and I think you can see that sting on the side of Arrow. 4 light shields now, and this is a big but because it's Butsab who's got the operator. Let's see if this big operator play works out. Goes for a very aggressive shot, but that wide swing from aggression from Salt throws him off, and he's not able to get the kill. Now they're not expecting Godchild here. He gets one kill, goes for the instant dismiss, expecting someone to come in. Is gonna get flashed out, almost able to reposition, but Beast with the trade. Now with the rolling thunder, Arrow gonna be under severe pressure from Salt.
Exactly, they're under a lot of severe pressure. But look at this, he's down to only 34 HP. He wants to peek out. Wow, that's a quick flick right onto him. Tried to adjust, but Hat's there. He will try things out instantly. Look at this, Hats. He does know this massive wide to go. He needs to clutch this round out, and yes, he does. With only 33 HPs, Hats strike again.
Boy, oh boy, these rounds are quick, Necro. Not at all like what we saw from Salt yesterday. But I love the fact that they're giving Arrow a taste of their own medicine, but rubbing salt in their wounds, as you put it. You know, they're like, you know what? We know how to counter you, but we also know how to beat you at your own game. As soon as they cleared out Hookah, they realized we've got the Rolling Thunder, and because of the fact that the Rolling Thunder is no longer that conical sort of shape, the semi-conical shape, it's actually a complete box now. It covers the entire site, which means they're guaranteed entry, and they take full advantage of that. A 4-round lead now on the attacking side. Nonetheless, we talked about how Salt are strong on the defense. Salt pushing their advantage really hard here.
They're definitely pushing their advantage, and look at that, Arrow getting punished again for that aggression. I don't really know why they're aggressing over and over again, but that Blade Storm active right now. Hats taken down. Unfortunately, MSK, look at that beast. Here comes stun out as well, but it doesn't matter. Casper strikes again. Someone needs to stop this man. If he doesn't, Casper is just feeling himself. He's feeling the wind. He's feeling the breeze on his side. And if he keeps on feeling that, I'm pretty sure Arrow is going to be having a tough time to make a comeback.
Definitely. And this lull in the slow of tempo for these teams, because of the fact that Batsab is the last man standing. He's going to look for some exit frags. Does give us a bit of time. Oh wait, back to Batsab. He made a lot of noise here using the updraft and the dash to get in. He's just trying to invite some attention onto him. Once those use, spots out Beast right there. He's going to try to hunt him down. Does dodge out the flash. The right click is there to ensure the kills. Batsab now just trying to make as much noise as possible. Gonna cloud burst the spike, fake the defuse, look for Casper to peek him out, but the time is running out, and Batsab will get taken down. That's 7-2 in the favor of Salt Esports. And back to the point I was talking about, which is the fact that I feel like this Arrow has the right idea. Yes, you have to take proactive control when you've got this guy on your team, even on the defensive side. But what you don't have to do is actually try and find a kill off that proactive control. Control just means you take a particular area and hold on to it for dear life. Deny the attacking team the ability to be proactive on their own and sort of force them to funnel into an area that you're playing anchor on. And Arrow aren't doing that. They're making the first right move, but then they're not putting the brakes on and holding on, and Salt are punishing that beautifully.
Look at the economy as well, man. They're getting punished real hard right now. Stuns out, and that's a good push as well, but still, Proda flips the table in his favor. That's going to be Cosmic Divide inbound as well, making sure Salt is at least finding themselves that entry. That's going to be another attack coming out. They're trying their best to at least keep it a hold on to for now. But look at that. We already do see Astra going towards that hall. She's trying to open up the site. Yes, she has gotten the hookah control for now. And I feel like just waiting it out there would be the best thing to do, because none of the Arrow members have any clue that there is someone inside hookah. And as soon as they find themselves an entry, he can also go for a flank, but no, pulls out the stun in the wrong time. Here comes the recon as well. This is just going to be revealing so many intentions from the lads of Arrow. But Arrow finally making it back to short just in the right nick of time, and the Astro is already there on the B side. Look at that. That's a massive lurk.
Yeah, but talking about lurks, Godchild and MSK themselves pushing in this A shot. They're gonna clutch Casper off guard, and that's Spike Carrier down. I do wonder if he can pull off the Empress here and try to finish the round right here, right now. But he's inside, gonna get flash. Has the backup though off MSK, and again, Spike Carrier down. They check their back at the right time, but they turn away. I'm not sure why they turned away. Stranger able to take them down, does relieve a lot of pressure. It's up to Godchild, and whoa! The headshot was clean. Able to get the kill, and there's no way they're gonna get the spike planted on time now, Necro.
Exactly. I mean, Godchild with the headshots from hell. Look at Batsab, down to such low HP, but still his morals are up, boosted high. Only 21 HP, he's looking pretty good still. But that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Arrow get another round on the board. That's 3-7. Up till now, though, Salt has been completely dominating this entire situation.
And I have to say, like, I've been asking again and again for them to play, while they take proactive control, and I love that, I want them to be a little slower, and that's exactly what we got to see in this round. They moved into A short, keeping their confidence, which is the biggest thing, making that aggression happen, but they did not necessarily run into the hands of Salt Esports. They just held on, waited for someone from Salt to actually give them the cues, and with Casper trying to get himself and the spike over to B as soon as possible, the audio cues made it possible for Godchild to get those multi-kills and secure secure the round in their favor. Now the setup has changed. Char's control is the name of the game. You see Proto already having taken this. I don't think Salt are expecting this at all. They're gonna get flanked really hard.
They're definitely gonna get flanked, but take a look at this. Just W key push directly inside the side, pretty much making it look so effortless. Arrow already are on flank lines. Take a look at this. I feel like the flank is gonna get red. Yes, it does, but Godchild gets 2 kills for himself instantly. Another one. Wow, what a flick onto him! Goth! This man needs to be stopped right now. The Reyna is definitely feeling himself, but Stranger is there to at least try and put on a full stop. Darky, only Stanley moving in as well. Defuse has been denied, but Gothchild there to try things out. And again, Gothchild coming out big for the lads of Arrow. He strikes when he was needed the most.
A 4K picked off for Gottschall, and that Shower's aggression really paying off. Even though Proto went down, Proto was really the bait that allowed Gottschall to get in aggressively, find that double kill, and as you reacted that flick was just nasty. Gottschall just with an instant headshot, really propelling himself now onto the top of the leaderboard in a matter of a few rounds. He had a slow start, but since then, he's picked up the pace, and he's starting to go into the face of Salt Esports, and Salt yet not able to find an answer to that aggression. I would like to see them default back to that counter strategy that they had even after you push in with the Rolling Thunder. Don't plant the spike, just try to hold on for 5 to 10 seconds and catch Arrow off guard.
They're over and over aggressing onto the A side, and easily they're getting the entry as well. I don't know why they're not really kind of capitalizing onto this fact that Salt is getting an easy entrance onto the side. Arrow again just lets them in. Maybe they want to go for a retake here, but the wall has been made by Casper. There should be the plant ad as well. But take a look at this Hunter's Fury catching the boat off guard. Gottschall there again to dominate this entire field. But this time, is it going to be possible or not? He's trying his best to keep them on their knees, but this is not going to be that easy of a task. There comes the Lyra as well. The flashes will try to at least suppress them down for a while. Look at his position. He did not expect Gottschall to be that aggressive at that point in time. Now does realize Salt Stranger is kind of on that sharp line, so take a look at this a little bit. Oh, what? What's up? Getting those 2 crucial operator kills, and Gottschall as well following it up, and that's going to be an Arrow getting another one. What's going on? They're making a comeback happen slowly, steadily.
There's so much to talk about that round, and I'm going to try to break it down into 2 crucial points. Number 1, to answer your initial question, why are Arrow really giving up that lamps area so easily? I think it's the idea that when you have the sky, you have to take proactive control. You have to be okay with giving over the other area and comfortable playing on the retake, and that's why Arrow able to hold on to Shars. But what they did wrong, though, is that they over-aggressed early, but that worked out for them. Gottschall with the Empress able to use the invisibility to his advantage to get into the smoke. The kill on Hats was huge because then he got into a short without actually giving away any info of his position. Able to know that Stranger is playing on that A short angle, allowed Butsop to get in aggressively, find those off kills, which are crucial. As you said, without those off kills, that retake was dead in the waters. Gottschall and Butsop working in perfect unison. The synergy really coming out strong for them to grab that round. You see Salt, they shift onto the defense, and I love this wall, man. The point as well you get for the reward.
The Tiger got denied as well. One ability kind of baited out in that situation. Beautiful wall. The timing was just perfectly on point. Salt, still Arrow. Though finally I see them, kind of showing their presence in the game. And I do like this kind of competition getting real close. Up till now, it was just Salt domination all the way. But we still never know. Maybe in the second half, Salt would dominate again. Or either Arrow can just steal the rounds away from them. We do know Gottschall is really good to deliver those headshots. Hopefully he does step up in the pistol round as well. Slowly and steadily, Arrow trying to get their domination settled up. Here. And take a look at this. Rotation being made onto the B side. Already some heavy presence being shown. Darky has been giving some sound cues here and there. Rotation Lake, look at that. We already do see the jet rotation away from the lads of Salt. That's going to be Trick making that rotation. 3 players onto the B side. A lot of intentions are being revealed. Even Darky's camera has been taken out. That means he doesn't really have any kind of side info anymore. They will have to do a blind rush with the flashes. And yes, they do. Gottschall find himself the opening. Butsop is there as well. And that's going to be the side completely cleared. Trick down to such low HP. He's holding the elbow angle. But what can he do with only 40 HP?
MSK getting this kill. The retake is on, but it's 2v5, and that's going to be an impossible retake with just pistols in their hands. Beast does have a bit of utility, I believe. I think 1 flush, if I'm not mistaken. So he could try to use that or just save it for the next round. Yeah, as I was talking about, 1 flash, but he just chooses to save that. Knows that in a 2v5, it doesn't actually give away any value. Now, as this round gets over, I do want to talk about one key thing that it didn't end up actually mattering, but the fact that Hats dodged that Sky guiding light, it didn't give away any info, but props given to Arrow. Despite not getting the blinded call from the Sky, Godchild checks the corner and does manage to take out Hats, and they commit the Leer. So they're like, you know what? We give the respect over to Salt Esports to know that they are capable of dodging those flashes, denying that blinded call and the info you get from the Sky flash, and we are going to make sure we commit that Arena Leer to make sure that we're not caught off guard at all in our push and guarantee that entry into the site. Godchild now 13-8. He's rewarded with a Phantom, and Arena with a Phantom on the second round. If she even gets 1 kill, she's going to become a raid boss.
I really like the change of pace being shown from the lads of Arrow in the attacking side. And finally, we do see a tactical approach in the game as well, which is really nice to see. That's a massive change of pace right there. Godchild, we already do see that kind of heavy presence outside. The recon darts out, not really able to get any kind of info from it. Look at that, but Saab will of course punish that. I don't know why Beast did not check that angle. Usually you're supposed to do that. That was just an easy kill, just being handed over. And yeah, pretty much you can't really expect much in those kind of situations because it was kind of an eco situation going on. Casper is there in the bathroom areas. That's the Hawk out. Planning there. Oh, Casper missing a lot of shots, but it doesn't matter. He did get that kill for himself. As long as he's getting the kill, no matter how he's getting it, that's the main kind of focus for them. MSK will smoke the bathrooms area out, and this is what he's exactly doing. No, instead, he utilizes the pull. Look at what's up. Slowly and steadily crawling inside on the CT spawn. Arrow. It's a one-on-one situation against Casper. Look at Butsab's HP. He's down to such low HP. Casper only has a classic in his hand. No, actually, now he has a Spectre in his hands.
10 seconds left.
Time's running out for Butsab. Okay, he does go back. He needs to plant the spike right now. The time is running out. He still tries to fake it. He's just out of time right here. Butsab trying to make the big plays. And 5 milliseconds, he loses it. You can't do that. All he really had to do was go behind the truck and get the spike planted. But props to be given to Casper, the crucial component of that trip, because if you notice, when Prota got into the site and tried to plant the spike, he did check the showers with his guiding light, but the flash was a little too deep, which meant that, again, I talked about this in the last round, Salt Esports know how to avoid that info from the Sky to come through for Arrow. Casper able to dodge out that flash meant that there was no blinded call, and with no blinded call, they're like, okay, there's nobody in showers, we can easily plant. He's able to surprise the heck out of them, bait down the spike planter, and then mosey around inside till he's able to clutch the round out itself, get it thrifty for his team, denying the momentum for Arrow and pulling it back for Salt Esports.
Preach is ready there as well with the stuns. Again, luring so heavily on the B side. Heavy presence is always being shown on there. Look at that, already a lot of room being found inside Hookah, but he will get punished to find that much room. I really like how smartly that was played. Stranger let him take that room and then later on try and punish them for overstepping. Beautifully played that situation out. Recon Dart should be out inside Hookah, making sure if they are inside Hookah or they have backed off or not. That's going to be revealing MSK's position, hopefully. But no, that recon was a little misplaced, and this is why MSK is acting pretty careless. That's a good Falcon right there. Blinded Butsab instantly for a long time. That just delayed that push by quite a lot. Trick! This man is holding this site like a mountain, and he's not going to be stopped anytime soon. Casper, of course, in the back lines to provide that extra bit of cover, and that's just going to be it. Trick finding another beautiful round for himself, but still he is all the way in the bottom in the kill board. But look at the eco though.
Yeah, the eco definitely gonna hurt. Arrow's still able to afford the buys here. I do expect Butsab to pick it up. I guess he's just gonna try to get an Alto Orb for himself and play on the Blade Storm, because I don't think he's picked up a buy yet. Maybe in the last seconds of the round he will. But on the side of Salt, There's that key factor trick on that operator. An aggressive push, spots the shoulder of Godchild but misses the shot, and that means now Arrow realized that, hey, there's an op we got to be careful about. They will be able to invest the utility. And talking about investing the utility, the Trailblazer completely clearing out the Shar's area does mean that now for Salt Esports, all of their attention drawn onto the A. This is the perfect moment for a rotate for Arrow.
This is definitely the perfect moment for them, without a doubt. Look at that, here comes the Rhino flash as well. Hunter's Fury out from the defenders, trying their best to deny any kind of entry onto the site. Beast wasn't being cleared out, and Beast, of course, will be popping out in that situation and proving that he's a beast. Still 3-on-4 situation going on. Trick still alive with that operator. He can still manage to pull off a lot of damage. Instantly teleported onto the other side, but I really like how this guy is still on the A. But she's going to be bringing a massive anonymous factor in the game. Casper being punished for not being attentive in the class, but Hats is there to kind of provide them that extra bit of cushion, safety cushion around. Drink now does know Godchild is there, and yes, beautiful headshot connected right onto his head. The call was given away that this guy was in the back lines on the A side, but now he has heard the TP. So Trick pretty much know he will be peeking out anytime. Oh, that was a close shot.
Yeah, I expect Rota to just go for the save. I really hope he does go for the save. Should not be contesting, but the gravity well pulling him in. Trick misses the first shot, but the Sheriff comes out, and he is the Sheriff in town. Will take down Rota there, deny any gun saved, and make sure Salt able to maintain their lead. And for Arrow, two crucial mistakes in that round. Number one, you gotta rotate. You can't force the site. You know the breach is at, because the Reyna Lear is like an instant trigger for Beast playing in Lamps. He doesn't have any vision of the push, but as soon as he sees that Lear come out, he's like, okay, I'm gonna flash and peek, because he knows that behind the Lear, there's someone pushing in. That's number one. And number two, if you're rotating through a teleport, you have to check both long and short. If you're coming in from short, they don't check long and they pay the price. Salt Esports now able to force Arrow onto an eco. You'll see though Arrow forcing it very aggressively. The Blazestorm leading the charge. It's really up to Butsop to make some moves and find some kills.
Definitely wants to find those kills. Look at that aggressive approach being taken. But will be punished initially. Shutting them down. Beast is doing a great job playing that aggressive angle. Oh. That's a great shot. That's a skull cracking shot from his side, but still, Salt pretty much seems like they're coming out on top inside this entire situation. For connecting that good op shot. That's a good pride from his side. And what's going on? Casper is styling with that Phantom, jumping around, shooting people.
I couldn't say it better, Necro. Casper just feeling himself. You know, he's in his prime time form. He's able to just continuously take the wind out of Team Arrow, and that's really what is turning the tides here. Because Arrow, it looked like they had a good momentum going in the starting phase of the second half, but since then, Salt Esports have been able to continuously shut them down. And besides Casper, we have to give props to Beast, because the way he's able to hold on to Lamps again and again, this is something we did not get to see from Arrow in their own defense. They gave away Lamps for free. Beast is like, no, I got the flashes to make sure I'm self-sufficient, and this is something I talked about in the pre-show. The fact that this breach is using his buffs perfectly, the buffs being where the unequipped time is lesser. But look at this, attacking operator from Butsub, he's answering fire with fire.
Exactly, answering fire with fire. Blazestorm out, Trick has not been expected. That's kind of punishment from his side, decides to back off in the crucial time. Seeker's out there chasing Stranger. Finally, Stranger will be taken out. Look at that now. Casper's position revealed as well. They do know there's someone in the elbow. Casper trying to slowly, steadily move inside. On the other hand, Beast as well there. The Tiger will be broken. That was a good layer, and wow, those are some nice shots from Casper. I gotta say, this man's reaction time is out of this world.
Definitely, but Casper now on his lonesome should be taken down. Does manage to take out Godchild before he goes out, but the round picked up for Team Arrow, the buy picked up for Team Arrow, and the operator not going down does mean that they will definitely be happy with the way the round went. And considering, talking about the way the round went, right? Considering the fact the Arrow are so damn good in executes when they have the Sky Seeker to tell them where exactly the players of Salt are, I do want to see them prioritize those ult points to Prota a lot more. He's not getting the kills this time, but still, he only has those 6 ult orbs to fill up before he's able to bring those Sky Seeker online. So I want to see them contest B-Long and Shars a lot more. Try to get those aggressive positions the way they did in this round. And then if you can pick up the ult off time and time again, use those, like recycle them every 2-3 rounds for the Sky Seekers, then you almost always are guaranteed that execute advantage. Let's see though. Right now they've got that Cosmic Divide, and that can be a tool for them to get onto a site.
Exactly. Trying to connect some shots here and there. Trick already has missed 2 of them. Look at this. Heavy presence is being shown. Even the spike is kind of slanted towards B side, leaning towards B. Heavy presence is being shown outside B as well. 3 players on the long, 1 only into the hookah. And as soon as some presence is being shown, I'm pretty sure the Jet will rotate as well. Salt's doing quite a great job. I really like how well Stranger has been anchoring since a long time. That's going to be giving their position away. Rotation should be seen anytime soon. And yes, Casper's rotation as well. Here comes the Cosmic Divide onto the side, maybe hoping that that's going to be stopping Salt this time, at least in that defense. And how can you not check that angle, Godchild? That's a pretty common angle in general. Look at that MSK. He has been given so much room to work around it, and of course he will. But Saab, though, is trying his best to fight back in these kind of situations. But Trick is there, and yes, he connects that headshot. That lightning fast, though. Quite a lightning fast shot.
Match point.
It's even more disappointing to like rub salt into the wounds of Godchild. He checked the angle in the pistol. He knew that there could be Hats there, and Hats playing the exact same position. This time, Godchild doesn't check the angle, even though he gets the blinded call from the guiding light. Hats did not dodge that flash. That meant that Godchild should have known, and with the Lear being taken down as well, it's just Arrow. It should have been their round because they had the better positions because of the Cosmic Divide that shut down the defender's side spawn angle as well as the elbow angle, which meant that all they had to do was clear out Hats and Stranger and they win the round instantly, but they couldn't do that. And because of that, now map point for Salt Esports. Arrow trying to get an execute through on the A side. The Trailblazer to clear out lamps. The operator holding down in the Shars. The first shot missed, but the second will not. The Rolling Thunder comes out to make sure no push happens. And Arrow now in a pickle. I expect a lead over right here, right now.
Exactly, it definitely will be. Beast already did find himself that opening. MSK trying to kind of even things out, but stop there. Not gonna let them even out. That's good positioning from stage, but gets absolutely flicked on and stalled on. Spike going down already. 12-7 is the scoreline. Pretty much Salt is looking good throughout this entire game. Casper also has that resurrection, so keep this in mind. They always can get a man advantage in no time. That's a great shot from Casper, but instantly gets traded out by Butsab. I really like the team coordination being shown between these two teams. Arrow, though, look at that. Butsab, he does know Hats has to be on the short side. I really like how he's holding and how confident he is holding that angle. No. Hats still doesn't know where that exactly he is, and yes, he finally does. That's going to be closing out another round in the favor of Salt, and this is it. This is it. First map taken in the face, taken by Salt. Bind easily closed. They made it look so easy. Look at that smile. Look at that beautiful smile on the Stranger's face.
I have to say, like, my biggest question mark coming into this map was Hats, and he performed really, really well. It doesn't have to show in the frags. It showed in the utility usage from him on the Astra pick, especially. Exactly. Hats performed out of his mind. I'm excited to see if he can continue this form. But talking about Team Arrow, again, that round, you in that 1v1 situation, we've seen Stranger play it, so we know how we want it to be played. You got to jiggle it. You cannot just slow peek it and expect to hit your shots. If you jiggle it, all you need to do is a shoulder peek to get info of whether the spike is being diffused or not. And because of that, you can play for time. But Butsab, relying on his aim too much, gets punished by Hats, able to pull off the clutch and secure Arrow's map pick for Salt Esports as they take the lead.
Exactly. That's a beautiful way to secure that round as well. That's going to be giving them so much edge over, I mean, mentally and physically, of course. But if we talk about what kind of mistakes were being made by Arrow, without a doubt, I mean, a lot of rookie mistakes are being made. So many times, Godchild or none of the entry fraggers were checking those angles, and they were getting punished for that without a doubt, because Salt is, of course, a team. And I said this before the game even started. Salt is really good when it comes to that defense. And, of course, they nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think Salt were just beautiful on their defensive side. A few errors on their attacking side, but that was more just trying to match up to the pace. And
Yeah.
it wasn't really fundamental errors, you know, it was more just like in the moment spontaneous. And I think I'm way more willing to let those go as compared to the fundamental mistakes that you pointed out for the side of Team Arrow. So I want to see if they can clean up the act going into map 2. I will give them the benefit of the doubt because we talked about the fact that Arrow didn't really get tested. Now, this is their wake-up call. If you don't turn up in map 2, then going into Breeze, I feel like it's just going to be a breeze for Salt Esports. They might just take it off right there. But hey, for now, talking about this map, I do want to ask you, going into the next map, we're going to expect much closer compositions, but Arrow likely to carry on the same. Do you feel like Salt, it's sort of easy for them because they don't have to change their playstyle at all? They just know what Arrow is going to do.
Look, I mean, we can't really say much about these kind of moments, right? I mean, all the casters, even you included, you predicted that Arrow will dominate this entire moment. And I completely knew that there's no way Arrow's going to be dominating because still, look, there was no way that Arrow's true potential was being tested yesterday against Namak Boys because they were getting completely stomped upon. And it just felt like a normal competitive game. But today is where the true potentials were being tested, and I went back home, I analyzed both the gameplays, and I clearly knew that Salt is way better when it comes to that tactical approach and that defensive approach in the game. So I already found out that maybe, okay, the Salt will pretty much take this if Arrow just keeps on playing the way they played yesterday. And pretty much this is happening. Arrow is playing the way they played against Namak Boys, and they're getting completely, absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that it's a double-edged sword, and right now the sword on the head of Team Arrow, because we wanted them to show what other cards they have up their sleeve, but they didn't show any. We only saw pure aggression, and we saw them continuously play into the hands of Salt Esports. I do expect them to maybe try and show a couple of those plays. I felt like Darky especially was a bit off in this map particularly. Usually we saw how much of a threat he was in denying that A-short approach in the last map, but this time it felt like A-short was so easy for Salt Esports to take. Darky's influence wasn't really felt the way it was felt yesterday. So I want to see if he can step up going into map 2, because now Salt Esports, they've got the momentum on their side, and I know they've got the confidence, especially for Hats. I feel like he had an off day yesterday, and he's showing exactly why it was just a one-off. It's not going to happen again.
Exactly. I mean, Hatsy, as you did mention, he had an off day yesterday, but it's fine. You know, we all have some of those unlucky days. But talking about, Stranger and Casper, I mean, I felt like they both were showing the presence inside the game equally, so they might be somewhere down line in there. We might just see a little bit of a fighting game, between the friends to be on the top fragger list, but it's fine. I feel like Casper definitely had a lot of kills, but on the other hand, if you talk about Stranger, I felt like he was getting a lot of first kills. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the fact that Stranger 100% every time he pulls out the Hunter's Fury manages to hunt one player down. The value he's able to get that off of that Sova ult, now that it's at 8 points especially, it's crucial. If you don't get those kills, it means that the execute for Arrow goes in every single time. They're not delayed, they're not distracted, and they are able to play their own game. This Hunter's Fury, not only does he get the kills, but the chaos he causes allows players like Beast and Casper, Beast with his flashes, and Casper with just the pure aggression and the aim to capitalize on that chaos and pick up kill after kill in their favor. Dismantle Arrow before they even get into their post plans, before they even get the spike planted, and that's a key component. They're gonna have to make sure they try and punish Stranger, because even that, it's a high risk play. If you pull out the Hunter's Fury so early, you don't get anything out of it. That's 8 points down the drain. So maybe if Arrow can find a workaround of that, if they can make sure even if they get a tag, as long as a kill doesn't go down, maybe that could be a way back in. But it's, as you said, right now Salt Esports do look like the better team. I want to see if Arrow can step it up.
One thing definitely Arrow needs is a Soa in the team, because that can change a lot of things. We do know that also just reveals a lot of info, and I feel like in bind, Cypher is equally kind of dominant. Cypher is really good, but the problem here is that Cypher doesn't really match the pace of Arrow, of how Arrow likes to play. Arrow is kind of a team who likes to play it really fast. And I feel like Soa would have been a way better replacement if they went for Soa rather than Cypher in that. And exactly as I said, look at that. Stranger had a lot of first bloods for himself. He got 6 first bloods. And on the other hand, Godchild did quite a great job in the team of Arrow. So, of course, he's the MVP with 15 kills. And Salt Casper, even though he has a lot of kills, just because of first bloods, Stranger's right above him.
Yeah, definitely. Stranger playing a phenomenal game, and we're no stranger to his performances. That
Yeah.
Sova role, we expected him. We saw it on the head-to-head as well before the show started. On that graphic, Stranger is a phenomenal player, and he's showing up with that performance today. Starting off Bind with like honestly a fabulous start. I can't take anything away from Stranger, and even if I rack my brain, I couldn't think of a single mistake he personally made. Like while Salt as a team could have changed a few things up, for Stranger alone, he was as perfect as he was yesterday in the map against Exploit Storm, and I think he's gonna be that X factor carrying on to the other maps, because that Sova role ain't going anywhere. He's gonna carry on with the Sova role till it gets to Breeze. That's where my biggest question mark is: what does Stranger play on Breeze?
Wow, that's a real good question without a doubt. But I feel like okay, on Breeze, I feel like playing Saw might be, understandable. He can definitely go ahead and play Saw without a doubt. I mean, Breeze, you do need that. But one thing we definitely know without a doubt is that Viper is the essential agent on Breeze. If you don't have Viper, you'll have a lot of disadvantage on your side.
Now, for now, we're going to take a small break and be back in a jiffy with you guys. The map 2 of the Pakistan-Afghanistan Qualifier 1 finals. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NODWIN Valorant Conquerors Championship, the road to VCT 2021 for the South Asia region. You know us. My name is Thea, and I'm joined by Nekro here today for the finals of the Pakistan and Afghanistan Qualifier 1. Map 1 was a banger, but Saul definitely stepped it up a notch. So what do you think is going to happen going into Map 2, Nekro?
Look, yesterday, going into map 2, look, honestly, my predictions were 3-1 Salt. Maybe I have like a strong itch in my head here that maybe Salt's gonna get punished for in the map 2. Look, we never know. These are just like this is just like a hinge I'm getting, but maybe Salt's gonna get punished. I personally don't really know. But what exactly is a massive kind of a point to talk about is what do you think about the Asian picks?
Oh, it's going to be really interesting because going into Ascent, I expect Hats goes on to the raise, but he wasn't great on the raise. And that's where it gets really interesting about the pick of Ascent, even because yesterday, the only map Saul lost was their own pick. They picked Ascent and they lost Ascent. So now the fact that they're picking Ascent again tells me that they realize, you know what? We just made a few key errors. We just need to rectify the errors. There's nothing wrong with our composition or our playstyle. There was just a few mistakes that we need to rectify, and we'll be back in tip-top form on the map of our choice. But then again, I feel like Ascent is that map that values aggression a lot more than Bind, even on the defensive side, taking A main or B main control. So I do see it coming into the wheelhouse of Team Arrow. But having said that, Arrow themselves banned Ascent against Namak Boys. So I feel like this entire map is like up and down. It's like a roller coaster of advantages and disadvantages. And it's going to be a mystery as to which team actually comes out swinging. But the one thing I think we know for sure is the momentum factor. Whenever a team just gets the stride running from the start, I think they are able to push it all the way through the finish line.
Exactly. They are definitely able to push it, as you did mention, push it all the way towards the finish line. And you also pointed a key fact out that Salt had a tough time yesterday playing on Ascent. And even though it was their pick, they still were kind of on a struggling phase. So maybe this is the map that Salt maybe will be losing. Look, there's a massive maybe. And because the way Salt has been playing in the first map, if they keep on playing just the way they are right now, there are massive chances of it being a 3-0 without a doubt. But still, I feel like Arrow isn't a kind of team that will let themselves, kind of go down without any wins. So that's why 3-1 is my prediction.
I get what you're saying. It definitely adds up, and the fact is that, as we talked about earlier, Arrow hadn't been tested. Now the map 1 was a wake up call for them, so we expect them to be much stronger in map 2. But that's where we'll see if the pre-match preparation from Salt is strong enough to just be like, we don't care how well you adapt. We prepared coming into Ascent. We picked it up because we understood what we'd done wrong and what we're gonna change. And I just wonder if Hats can continue to play that Astra. So maybe Casper can play that Sage and Beast can again go out to the KJ. They can run that Jet Sage composition because I do feel like that's a lot stronger and a lot more comfortable for the team in general as compared to the Jet Raze composition, because Casper then is allowed to play much more aggressively. I do want to see how it goes out, because yesterday when Casper was playing Astra, he definitely was still performing out of his mind, but it felt like Hats did fall off a cliff. So I want to see if Salt are going to brush that off as a one-off, put back Hats on his race pick that he's known for, or if they're going to change things up and come out with something new for Ascent.
I mean, exactly. Look, changing things and kind of catching them off guard as well would be a really good thing. I mean, especially from what has been happening since the past, as we do know, against Team Exploit, Salt was expected to lose. I mean, we all expected kind of Salt to, kind of not really come out on top in those kind of moments, but Salt did come out on top. So one thing we definitely know is that Salt is really good in doing their homework. And I feel like if Salt has done a great job doing their homework against Arrow, and we might just see a little bit of switcheroos from the way they played yesterday, because Salt does know Arrow is a kind of team that will do their homework as well. So switching your things up and catching Arrow off guard would be a really good way to, turn Arrow down.
Absolutely. And to add on to that point, I feel like that's where we want to see that pre-match preparation go towards denying the duo of Butt Sahab and Prota, because Prota didn't look as strong as he was in map 1, the way he looked on Bind yesterday, where he had I believe almost 18 kills. This time much lesser on the bottom of that leaderboard. So he's going to be a little angered. He's going to want to be able to pull that off. But for now, let's move on. Let's see what we've got in store for us for the map of Ascent. It's going to be an interesting affair. And instantly, the locks coming through, it is going to be the race for Hats.
Oh, this is what I like to see. This is what I like to see, baby. Again, Hats going on to race there. As we did mention, yesterday it wasn't really Hat's day, but we still never know. Maybe today Hat can absolutely catch us off guard and surprise us as well. So I really want to see what he has in his backpack secured for us, because it is definitely going to be really interesting. Casper already, having a great time, and seems like he's eaten. All the players kind of chilling. On the other hand, Arrow, you can clearly see the worry on their faces. They're clearly worried about how they want to play this game out. And Arrow, I mean, I'm expecting Arrow to at least step their game up a little bit, a notch, because Protagonist was doing quite a great job yesterday, and in the previous game, he did try to kind of step up, but he was getting shut down instantly.
I guess you could say if there is to be a story here with Arrow coming out 1-1, it really is up to that Sky. He's got to be the protagonist of the story. But we'll see if he is able to do that, though, because I do feel like Salt have got it down to a T, how you countered that Sky aggression. And especially now, that protagonist is not going to be playing that Sky. He's playing that Sova, switching onto a different role in such a high-stakes environment. It does make me wonder, like, at this point, do you want to be making that switch? Are you even comfortable? Because we've never seen protagonist on that Sova, but it is the better pick for Ascent because it does give you a lot more reliable info. You even mentioned it in the post-match, but here, back to this particular match, it's a split B approach. Mid to B is the idea, but that door going down delays so much time.
That door going down definitely delays a lot of time. He was being spotted there. Darky's on the side. He has been caught off guard. Hats will take Darky down without any trouble. Trick is there to try things out here and there, but Salt easily get that side control already in their hands. It's a 2-on-3 situation. I wouldn't really call that an easy side control because Trick is down to such low HP.
One enemy
Here we go, but Stop slowly, steadily closing his distance, and that's going to be it. Arrow getting the first round in their hand. Off to a great start.
Absolutely. It's exactly the sort of start you want, and to make sure you start off on a strong note, and also to make sure that you have that confidence going in, because as you noted, there was a bit of tension, a bit of stress, a bit of worry in the faces of the players of Arrow. So I'm sure, like, if they can start off strong, maybe get to like a 3-0, 4-0 scoreline, they would be able to go back to their confident selves, their best selves, as we saw earlier yesterday. For now, though, it's going to be the Spectres coming through. A full eco from the side of Salt. No shares, none of that funny business. They're just going to rely on trying to do some damage with the classics and then look for the Phantoms and Vandals with the full shields in that next round. Arrow, they gotta be really careful they don't drop too many weapons here, because we have seen Thrifties in the past, but already Gotcha starting off on the right note. He's able to get one kill, but the aggression paying off in D-main.
I wouldn't really say paying off because he got taken down by Classic. I was expecting a flawless execution coming out, at least from the side of Arrow there. And he definitely did get kind of punished for being that aggressive. Well played from the side of Salt. At least they're trying to do as much damage as possible onto Arrow. I like how Dark is throwing away those Spectres, making sure no one's going to be getting those that easily. This is a real good move from his side. Well played, Darky.
Absolutely. I love the fact that he's still so aware in this high-stakes environment. Now, Darky's still holding that B-main angle. It is a little risky because he got a trapper right behind him. If he wants, he can reposition, but instead he's just going to back up. Played it for the timing, wasn't able to find anyone. And now with Prota coming through for his support, he's going to go back to playing in that switch cubby area. Now you can see the aggressive push from the side of Arrow has got them the info. Nobody's at A main, nobody's in mid, which directly makes you believe that they are over at that B main. And Prota just playing it slow, jiggling through, does spot out Casper right there, and that means it's all up to Darky now to find the kills. Prota gonna be like, wait, let me chime in with one of my own.
Well, it's fine. Getting another round in their hand, at least up till now. Things are looking pretty good for Arrow. This is the buy round. This is where the real decision will be made, how teams are playing out. Now, one disadvantage will definitely be there for Arrow, as they're not going to be having ARs in their hands anymore. On the other hand, Salt would be pretty strong onto those long-range battles. So Arrow should not make any kind of aggressive peaks. Even if they do, then they will be instantly punished. On the other hand, what Arrow should exactly do... What Arrow should exactly do is maybe try and hold on. I don't really like how aggressive they're being right now. They can't get instantly punished. I feel like they should just let the lads of Salt walk into their crosshair.
I'm not sure if that was a bug or Stranger didn't actually buy shields, but right now, Salt starting off their buy round on the right note. Aiming aggression, but all of them here, so it's actually an execute. Frick not only able to find one, finds a second, and Hat's there to accompany him. The double duelist entry makes sure that 3 members of Arrow are down. They've got full side control. They've got that easy spike planted.
Oh!
Godchild though, the aggression. He got 1 kill. I'm not sure he wanted to do that though, because he went in solo.
Went in solo, got himself that opening as well, and that's a great round. As I did clearly mention, the chance of Salt winning that previous round was of course more because they had upgraded weapons. And now I feel like this would be a real crucial round for Arrow in general. If they're not really able to make good kind of decisions in this round, then they will definitely be punished. Gothchild tried his best to kind of come out and top in that previous round, but got instantly punished. But still the economy is pretty broken on Arrow. Look at this. Slowly and steadily kind of moving around and trying to get themselves kind of situated in these kind of moments is really going to be an important fact. Beast. We already do see them kind of having a heavy presence outside A. I feel like the job of Beast and Trick is to fake these kind of situation out, but take a look at the Cypher cam. Finally spotted that out. I really like how Darky played that situation out there. This is a fake lockdown. They're making them think that this is going to be a B execution, and that's a fake lockdown right there. But Saab misses that crucial shot, and he's not going to be getting any second chance anymore.
Using the lockdown now to entry onto the side. They've got a lot of control, but they've also given a bit of damage to the side of Arrow. Now Trick himself getting hit by the spam through the smoke is down to really low HP. The time running out, but they do have enough to make sure the spike does get planted. Now all of Arrow ready for the retake. They gotta go in before Hats comes through on the flank, and they are trying to do that, but Beast already able to just delay them for so long through that door angle, allows Hats to come through on the flank, and Hats picking up a quadra. Beautiful gameplay from Hats and Beast. I mentioned this, right? Like, you gotta delay them for as long as possible because you know all of them are in that defender's side spawn entry, and that means that because the Beast buying so much time with his utility, Hats able to just mow them down on the flank.
I honestly thought that was a fake lockdown right there because the spike was outside A. And I did not even spot when I actually got rotated all the way towards B side, but now we clearly do see heavy presence outside A main. And it seems like the intentions are pretty clear. This time they want to probably do a fast A rush, which is understandable, but stop trying to find anyone on the tiles. MSK also spotted a little bit of presence outside A main. Falling back near the doors. Here comes the smokes inbound. Trick already dashing inside the site. Found himself quite a great positioning. Already does have a lot of side control inbound onto his hands. The door should be shut anytime soon, and yes, it is. Utility is being used on both hands. Spike going down. 1 minute 11 seconds in the clock, and the spike is already down. Casper taking down Darky. Kills happening here and there. What can the defenders do to make a massive comeback happen? Because things are not really looking good in there, or usually things are just not looking in their favor because Salt is not letting them have any kind of edge. Look at the kill feed. Salt's domination all over the place, and Beast getting the final kill.
Strangers, Shock Torch, Strangers, Shock Torch, Strangers, Hunter's Fury, every part of the kit of that Sova, Stranger uses to perfection, getting himself on the board with a Shock Dart kill, nonetheless, just tops it all off. But what I'm really noticing for Salt is Hats. 7 kills to his name. Even if you count those 4 as a duo play rather than a singular play, he's already playing as good as he played yesterday. I believe on Ascent yesterday, he only got 8. So almost matching that number in just 5 rounds. You can see that yesterday just the off day for Hats. Now you see Salt themselves, once again, priming themselves up for this aggressive ace side push. While on the other side, aggressive B main control from those 2 duelists does tell them there's nobody here, which means it's likely, again, that A execute coming through. Stranger does pop that Hunter's Fury early. I talked about how Arrow need to find a workaround. This time, nobody dies. So now when the spike gets planted, it's up to Darky to make the move. The alarm board does deny him that aggressive presence, but it also makes sure the spike is delayed. Now they've got to close the door, wait a lot of time, get spotted by the dart, even the spike cam revealing so much information. All of Arrow ready for the retake, and the spike just getting planted, meaning not great post plans for Salt Esports.
He missed that showstopper. That's so unfortunate. That's crucial ultimate as well. It just got used just like that. That's really unfortunate. That's a good shock dart right there. MSK now, it's all down to Arrow how they're going to be making this comeback happen. There's still flats on the side. That's a good shot. Even though he was jumping around, he still managed to connect that trick with his last breath, trying to fight, but it doesn't matter. Arrow get that kind of defending side into their hand. The retake was really well done by Arrow. And again, we're seeing a lot of mistakes being made from Salt there, because over and over again, if you're going to be hitting the A side back to back, of course, you are going to get predictable, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And even if you are okay with being predictable, you got to close the door. As soon as you get into the A side, you got to close the door so you can force that early spam and effectively guarantee information of someone playing there. Because for the longest time, they had no idea that Darky was there. Only after they started planting the spike, they were like, wait a minute, I should put an alarm bot there.
Yeah.
And by that time, it was too late because Darky was actually able to establish his presence. He didn't do any damage, didn't get any kills, but the shots itself was enough to scare them by enough time. But once again, this A side push, now using the Cosmic Divide, Saul just going back to the same strategy. Let's see if Arrow can respond, because it's not like they're fools. They can get caught once, but not twice. Now, Frick does take out Darky, and a 1-for-1 trade comes through. But you can see already, Arrow, they're ready for the retake on the edges of that Cosmic Divide.
More for situation for now. Already do have the side control in their hand. That's a good recon right there. A lot of intentions were being revealed, but not really able to do enough kind of damage. Oh, Stranger is going real aggressive. This might just pay off or might not be really good for him. Anything can happen from these both. Proda is also being really aggressive. I'm pretty sure they're not going to expect Stranger to be here getting those both. That's a big angle being made from his side. Good flash from Reyna though, but it doesn't matter. Salt. Wow, just a casual stroll on a summer's day. Just walking around, just walking on the lands of Arrow and making it look so easy over and over, back to back, hitting that A side and still coming out on top. I don't know how predictable can a team be and still manage to win.
The thing is, they weren't predictable this time, though. They nullified the door presence completely because of the Cosmic Divide. And because of that, unlike the last round, Heaven Control was not in the hands of Arrow. When you're pushing onto that A side for the retake, Heaven Control as well as Garden Control is crucial. Garden Control, sure, Arrow definitely had, but they had no vision. And because of that Heaven Control being denied, Stranger able to play that unpredictable one-off position, getting a lot of value from his gun itself. Even though he didn't get the Hunter's Fury kill, he was able to get a lot of value of that. But look at this. Again, A side for Team Arrow. For Team Salt. And Arrow, they are starting to lead into it. Gotcha with a very aggressive move. Cleared out B. This allows for a stack onto A.
One thing we can definitely tell is that Arrow's economy has been hurt real bad. No! Trick missing that crucial headshot. If he did connect that, that could have been pretty big. Already finding an opening onto A, that could have just opened so many opportunities in itself. Look at Buttsop still trying to play this out as safe as possible. Oh, peeks in pretty slow and cozy and still manages to get that shot off. Buttsop is not going to enjoy those kind of moments for himself, but look at that crossfire being set up between MSK.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's really good. Darky's position wasn't compromised. He did realize that. Held that angle, walked right into his crosshair. Darky, of course, strikes in those kind of moments, and you do expect him to do that. Slowly, steadily walking inside Proda. Look at that man. Dashed onto sides. Oh, that's a great headshot on the Beast as well. Arrow are actually doing quite a decent amount of damage. What? Proda! Now he's finally feeling himself, and this is what we like to see. This is the Proda we wanted to see, and finally he has been stepping up. But keep this thing in mind as well. Proda has the Hunter's Fury inbound. He might still just do a lot of damage. That's a good shot.
Casper's aggression, though, shuts down any possibility of that retake. And now Proda with just 64 HP, he's going to have a very daunting task ahead of him. Does do some damage to Casper, forces him out of that first lane, back into the boathouse. And now, with the time running out, he's really got to make the moves in now, or just go for the save. The recon bolt revealing his exact position, and with his recon bolt not getting much information, there's not enough time. He just has to go for the save and some exit frags if he can. Gonna try to find them right there. The shock dart, though, making sure he's not on the right side, which means they naturally check the left. They take him out, and no gun saved. Instead, just a little bit of damage done. But at that point, damage isn't that much of a concern to Salt because they've got that win streak going, and they've got the economy for themselves. Now, I will say, for the side of Arrow, now that they've got that buy round going, what they really need to do is try to switch up their defaults because you have to expect, because of that repeated A hit, that Salt will eventually switch it up. So I want them to try and take mid control much more often. Try to get Gottschalk in those aggressive positions because we know what kind of shots he can hit. And even if he gets one kill, it just puts an instant stop to the plans of Salt Esports. Now I think the Boombot revealing all of the presence of the side of Salt towards this B area, but all of it just to get their Jet in this aggressive angle. They're actually going for the hard rotate, and I'm not sure about this. I like rotates in general, but this was a little too early, a little too fast.
Beautifully mentioned there. A little too early, a little too fast. A side, though, we don't really see a lot of defenders being present onto there. Godchild this time doing something unexpected. I like this. A curveball being thrown from his side, but he's also giving a lot of sound cues away. I don't really know why he's trying to do that. He could have found himself an easy flank from the back lines, but still, instead decides to back off again. Well, I don't really know why he did so. Trick, I'm pretty sure he's just directly going to be dashing it side to side, and this is what he's probably going to be doing. Yes, he did. Found himself an entry inside the side. Arrow easily just lets them slide in. I feel like they want to play for a retake. Hunter's Fury out from Crota, trying to deny that plant, but still not going to be pretty much successful in doing that. And up till now, Salt has been doing quite a great job. Trick, of course, as always, opening the side up. Darky moving into the side slowly and steadily, and that's a good push from Stranger. Crota tried to strike back. Trick missing a lot of shots, but finally the final player being taken down. We did see both the teams, missing a lot of shots in those fights. What are your views on that?
MSK with a bit of an oof, and Gottschalk can't be lurking around that mid area for so long. He has to expect for the side of Salt, Casper to be on that late lurk to try and get in from A short, and then to add on to all of that, Crota, his Hunter's Fury was not at the right plant spot. They didn't use it to trade out the Killjoy lockdown, instead choosing it to save to try and deny the plant. But at that position, you're not going to go for the Transformer plant if you're Salt, because you know once the lockdown is over, the likely form of aggression is from the door. The plant usually does go down right under heaven, and that's exactly what happened. So the wrong Hunter's Fury spot from Crota made sure that the post plants were in place for the side of Salt, and they got an easy round. This time now is going to be Stranger's Hunter's Fury, and he sure don't miss. Stranger doesn't get a kill, but causes a lot of chaos, allows Strick to get in, and Beast has to pick up the first 2 kills.
What is happening? Salt is entering the side just like always. The same way, nothing being changed. They're just doing the same thing that they're doing all the time, and Arrow is not able to tackle them down. I don't know what's exactly going on, what's wrong. Butts up with a great headshot onto Casper. The headshot from hell, as we like to call it, but still, side control already being given. That's a good shock dart from their side. Trying to reveal as well. And that's the showstopper. Yep, that's going to be taken out, but unfortunately, Crota slowly and steadily trying to move in. It's all down to Crota now. He will be taken down as well. There's nothing much really to say in these games because Salt is just straight up walking inside the side and doing the same thing over and over again, and still Arrow is not able to counter them.
What I really don't understand is why we haven't seen more of a counter to the Jet dashes that we're seeing again and again towards that aggressive transformer position vertically to allow his team to get in. Darky can set up a trap fire to either deny that or play himself in transformer with a cage on him so that when the dash does come in, he knows exactly where to pre-fire and he's able to take Trick out. But for now, Salt, they're going to change up their strategy once again. This time playing for mid control, doing something we haven't seen them do yet. But I do believe with Butsub holding down with that operator down, will get spotted out. It wasn't an operator, just the Marshal actually. Hats takes him out, and Arrow, they're in a very dire situation. They're falling down piece by piece like a set of dominoes.
Falling by piece of piece, as you did say that. Salt has definitely done homework against Arrow. Gottschalk still trying to fight back. Beast, I feel like this man is just really good when it comes to tactical gameplay. Beast has been doing a great job even in the bind when it comes to supporting his team with those utilities. Wow, that's a good That's a good trade right there. Did manage to do a decent amount of damage. He was the only one who got himself those 2 kills, and the rest of his
Last
teammates
round
just
in
fell
the
down like a house of cards.
I love the way you said that. 8-3 now for Salt, and I just feel like Aero are running low on confidence, like they're running on fumes even, because it doesn't look like they're playing their game. The aggression is no longer present. It looks like much more of a pug playstyle that you expect to see in like a Diamond or Immortal lobby, where the players are doing well on their own, but there's not the synergy we saw that really made them stand out for us yesterday. That synergy is really, really lacking. And Salt, as you said repeatedly, doing the same thing again and again. They're taking A main control for free. They're able to get that ult off for free, and they're able to recycle that Killjoy lockdown to get themselves into the A side. Now the Cosmic Divide available as well. They're leaving no stone unturned. They're gonna use everything because it is the last round once again to get themselves onto that A side. Hats getting a free kill on Darky to top it all off. Like Arrow falling down and really not able to step up the way we wanted them to.
Exactly, not really able to step up the way we wanted them to. Salt domination again all the way throughout. Nothing really, like, Salt, they're just all the time rushing on A side as if it's a piece of cake. And look at that again, that's a good recon right there. Godchild works around it. That's gonna be helping him so much. Bladestorm out as well. Trick doing quite a great job. No, misses a lot of shots there, but it's fine. Godchild needs to be stopped. He starts feeling himself. That's gonna be tough, and that's a good shot from Trick. I really like how he repositioned himself, and Godchild did not expect him to be there.
Trick was huge in that round. Godchild starting off the retake well, that too in a 4v5 by getting hats and then causing a lot of chaos with his presence in the invisibility. But the fact that with the Bladestorm, Trick is able to take out Prota means that there's no way that that held position can't be left contested. They have to divert all of their attention onto Trick, and that meant that all of the attention taken off of A-main. Even if Trick died in that situation, with Casper playing easily in that A-main angle, could have pulled off the round just on time, meaning Salt, they're showing us the tacticality we've wanted to see from these teams. They're stepping it up a notch. And Arrow, I feel like it's actually the opposite. They've fallen down a notch. They're not even able to match the performance we saw from them yesterday. And you can see the disappointment in their own faces as they ponder over how they want to change things up. Now, the side has changed, Necro. It is going to be the attacking side for Arrow. And given the aggressive nature for this team, I do think it could be good. But with a 9-3 scoreline in the favor of Salt, the entire attacking half hinges on this pistol. You lose this pistol, not only does Salt easily get to 11 points, and then the buy becomes so hard to contest, but more importantly, Trick gets the operator, and I feel like after that, there's no way back.
Exactly, after that, there's pretty much no way back in these kind of moments. Look at that. Salt. That's a... Yeah, I don't really know. I really like that drop given onto Hats there. He also has a ghost and a little bit of light armor. I like how the trust has been shown on the Hats. Maybe he will deliver, because yesterday Hats was definitely not having the right moment or the right time, but today Hats is definitely feeling himself. Look at that. 15 kills onto his name. Absolutely looking good. Made locked in. Not really able to do that much amount of damage. Yes! Godchild down to such low HP. He needs to find himself a kill as soon as possible. I really like how aggressive Hats was there. Still managed to get a kill, then fall back. Now I understand why he got that light shield, because the plan was already to send Hats pretty much aggressive. Oh, that's a good shot from Darky. Another good shot. Wow, what's out of nowhere? That was pretty unexpected. Easily inside the side. Hats is taking so much damage, but that nade maybe will just take him out. No, doesn't. Things still looking good, favored for Arrow. It's a 3-2. Man advantage is looking good onto their side, but Darky has been feeling himself so far. Both the players from the defenders are coming through heaven. Oh, this is a massive flag for Darky. You guys better expect him to be there in the back lines. If you guys don't, he's gonna deliver. Takes one down, almost takes second down as well, but yeah, is down to such low HP, and he will be taken down by Basab.
Arrow, we talked about how important this pistol was, and for a second, I will honestly say, I didn't think it was going to go their way, but Darky, a step to the left, a step to the right, able to pull off those headshots, just get it right for Arrow, make sure that he's able to really lead from the front, and I like the fact that he's stepping up. We talked about how his influence wasn't felt as much in map 1. Now on that Cypher, he's already got 4 out of 6 ball points. So if you can continue this aggression, keep using Darky's momentum as much as possible, get that ball Cypher online, it'd be really cool. But look at this. I've wanted this for such a long time. I'm euphoric that I've got it. The gamble from Salt is not going to pay off, but the fact that they actually did a gamble, I'm proud of that.
Look at this. Arrow easily getting that B side control this time. They got outplayed there, without a doubt. They definitely got outplayed. Decided to stack A side, hoping that Arrow will walk in A, but Salt miscalculating things a little bit here and there. This round should pretty much be Arrow's round because Salt is on in hard eco, and I expect Arrow to pretty much clutch out this round without a doubt. MSK is there in the mid. There's a lot of people approaching. Is he going to be able to take him down? No, it's going to be the answer. Beast finally gets MSK down as well. Ultimate door has been taken down. Godchild revealing his intentions, finally disengaging out that situation as well. But that shock dart did kind of enough damage. And wow, out of nowhere, what's Salt? It seems like finally there's a massive chance that they might just take this. That's a good shock dart from Proda, and then just in the spam catching hats as well.
A little too close for comfort there from Arrow, and a little too much damage taken by them. They did not need to play such aggressive angles, because especially when you notice the way MSK was playing, there's no way he gets more than 1 kill there. Even if you manage to get your spray perfect and you get 2 kills, that's not worth it because you're going against Classics, and for those 2 kills, the defenders, the people who are on the retake, get rewarded by a Spectre, and a Spectre means they get to do a lot more damage to your team. So Arrow, these small mistakes are gonna end up stacking up, and you can see already the punish coming through in terms of the buys. Even though Arrow have invested a lot of money into this round, it's Salt with the better weaponry, but Salt, once again, really interesting defaults from them. The Killjoy on the solo anchor, they've left A short completely uncontested. I expect the Jet or the Sova to go once they've used the recon over towards mid to go onto the A short. Actually, scratch that. I guess they changed their minds. The Sova just going to play on that B main angle. The Jet going to join the Killjoy for that A hold, and much more standard defaults right now. Hat's back in a position. We saw him a lot, and we saw a lot of influence from him even when he was having an off day. Continuously being able to deny that B main push with his utility means that Arrow, they're now going on to the A side, and look at the positions of the nanoswarms. I love this because that nanoswarm right there on the back of sight, right under the transformer, means that the Jet can dash in for free without taking damage. A tiny bit of just outplay by the side of Beast means that they are thinking about how they beat Arrow, and they're making sure to deny the opportunity from the start.
It's definitely happening. Oh, look at this. As always, Arrow, well, it seems like they're copying the exact mirror strategy that Salt did. They're on the A side, same way as Salt did. That's a good recon right there. Beast works around it. I really like the team synergy building up between Salt. And yep, as soon as the buy round comes in, easily Salt gets that in their hand. Stranger with 2K. Actually scratched that with a 3K and getting that round easily in their hand. I really like how coordinated Beast was playing in that. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah, a nano swarm for that exact Jet push meant that Buttstop was down to half health, and a nano swarm for the switch position meant that there was no way Salt Arrow, even though they got into the site, they couldn't execute, because once you get onto the site, you have to first shut down the door, then you have to clear out heaven, then while you're getting the spike planted, you have to clear out hell, meaning in the first 2 steps itself, Beast denied them, and as you said, playing it beautifully in the angle. The fact that Arrow did not even spray that tiny box on heaven towards the right, just rubbing salt in their wounds onto the Arrow side, and at this point, the eco broken, Salt in full control in the driver's seat for how they want to make this match go. Now mid control is being contested by Team Arrow. They have gone for the forced buys in this round, meaning if they lose this, map point effectively guaranteed for Salt Esports.
Exactly, and defense, I feel like Salt is playing on an individual brilliance. This is what's exactly happening. Salt's playing on individual brilliance. And no strats pretty much being shown. Those are just some normal rotations being made. Again, it really gives me just kind of like the vibes of some pub games. But look at this, finally, okay. A little bit of change of pace from the lines of Arrow. They are on an eco. They have a semi-buy kind of in their hand. Oh, Trick spotted him out. And intentions being revealed. That's a massive info to be gathered. ASAT still being held by that Astra, but it's fine. The rest 4 players are on the B, slowly, steadily rotating around as well. Look at that, Stranger moving in on the B side. That's a great shot from MSK. Stranger will have to pay this time. Look at that, already inside the sights. Beastie's waiting for them to make sure, okay, but if someone decides to go to the backside, that was a great shot from Trick, but instantly gets denied by MSK there. Oh, I really like how things are turning into Arrow's favor slowly and steadily. Even though it's this is the eco, they're still managing to turn it off in their favor. But here comes Hats, and we do know Hats does have the caliber to clutch this round out. 1-on-3 situation. Oh, what is that? That's a crazy shot. That flick, wow. Oh my god, that's a flick from hell right there.
I couldn't put it better. An insane shot, but Arrow do pick up the round for themselves. I do love the fact that Hats is just having a great day. But with just the Sheriffs, Arrow able to still stall the momentum out. This was a forced buy, so for them, winning this round is going to be so huge. Not just for the eco, but for the morale, for the confidence. But look at that. Off day it was, man. Hats on the Raze. This is what we expect from the OTP Raze, the true Raze lover. He's just vibing, he's just chilling, listening to a bit of salsa. I expect a bit of that Brazilian music going on and just having a great time all together. 20 kills. Hats popping off right now, and we expected to see this yesterday. So I will let it go because I'd rather see him pop off in the finals than the semifinals. Because Hats right now is doing a phenomenal job of, you know, pushing his team through to that finish line. Having said that, Caster Curse is a real thing. Hats goes down to first blood.
Hats goes down to the first. Well, that's kind of questionable move from Beast. How are you just gonna let B main leave unchecked and then you just start looking at mid? Oh, that's kind of questionable move from his side. I don't really know why he did that. I'm actually kind of mad on him for doing that. Look at this. Salt Casper is on the CT side. Moved right through him. That's a great flick. Oh my god, I already love these lads' aims. I want to know how their training routine is looking like, because I am a person who likes individual aim. Oh my god, the headshots is being shown. All of these players are the headshot machines. And I am absolutely loving where this is taking us. Casper is down to such low HP now. They do want to make the retake happen, and yes, that's a good shock dart right there. Denying MSK, instantly shutting him off. That's a great trade as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call up the Team Arrow organization, Salt organization. You know what? I'll call up all the top teams in Pakistan, Afghanistan real quick. Be like, yo, I'll GPay you guys. Can you send over the aim routines? Because what are these shots, man? The shots are insane. This flick should never hit. Gottschall had his crosshair aimed on Casper. The Casper's reactions are just nuts. Instantly just flicking directly to top it all off on the head of Gottschall. Takes him down, and damn. The momentum that Arrow got from winning the force buy just instantly drowned. Salt Esports will not give them a moment to breathe. They are dominating with the way they're playing, even better than they played on Bind, truly showing why they picked up the map of Ascent, because this is the true persona of Salt on Ascent, ascending to new heights. And boy oh boy, if this is the Salt that we get to see, I'm excited to just see them going on forward, because it doesn't look like Arrow's got a chance right now in this finals matchup. Stranger, as we expect, pulls out the early Hunter's Fury. I feel like we should just start calling him the Sinatra of South Asia at this point.
Sinatra of South Asia. Maybe we can just call him the Stranger, you know, the beginning story of a legend. But hold on. Godchild. Oh, we already do see a lot of kills happening back and forth, but Salt looking more dominant inside this. Godchild is still alive, so there is a little bit of hope alive inside this round as well. Oh, that's a good neural theft. That has given away so many positions. Oh, not really able to connect that showstopper, but it's fine. At this point in time, I feel like the main kind of intentions for the lads of Arrow is to at least make a save happen. Now, oh, Stranger from the back lines is shutting down Darky, but no Arrow. I feel like oh my god, I feel like saving could have been a better option, but still, I mean, they don't really have a lot of rounds to spare, so you might as well take your chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And For them, Arrow, at this point, like, we've seen insane comebacks. Like, don't get me wrong, everything is possible and all that. But the way Salt is playing, it's impeccable. It doesn't seem like there is a way Arrow can get in. It's not like there's no theoretical way Arrow can get in. It's just that there's no way that matches Arrow's playstyle, the pure aggression that sort of makes them look like a more puggy team. You can't do that against Salt Esports because they're way more structured, they're way more understanding of their weaknesses and where they're utilizing their resources to gain strengths. Now look at this, mid control, and then the A-short push in. Hats senses something is up, the spidey senses are tingling, he's just gonna back up, join his teammates in that A-main position. He's like, you know what, you guys, you can take A-side, we're just gonna keep A-main for ourselves, make that retake super easy.
Here we go. Entry already starting and kills start to fall as well. Salt's looking really dominant on their defense. I like how they're also bringing a massive change in the pace, flanking around, being aggressive at the same time. And I'm sure Arrow did not expect that kind of an aggression being shown from them. Salt doing a quite great job keeping them on their toes. And same thing, Casper taking advantage of that. Lads of Arrow were kind of distracted to take a look at. Oh, he missed a lot of shots. We'll have to pay the price for that. And man like Darky, if you give him a lot of room to work around, he will deliver.
Darky, 1v2. Killjoy ultimate is down. He has to push though. He doesn't have the time.
Defenders win.
Unfortunately, time playing against Darky's hopes, and Salt Esports dominant. 13-7 was map 1. 13-6 was map 2. Is it gonna go 13-5 in map 3? Because Salt are just going map by map up a notch, and you can see the jubilant on their faces. They are so happy. Casper and Beast especially playing phenomenally, and Salt Esports, I have to tip my hat. I have to say I was wrong, because damn, I was not expecting them to step it up to such a big level. The tacticality is there, the aim was already there, and to add it on all off, Hats is popping the hell off.
Exactly, they're popping the hell off. They're going ham right now. They seem pretty unstoppable. I mean, look, I'm happy that I kind of went for a different variety. You guys went for Arrow. I'm so proud of myself that I actually made the right decision here. Yeah, I'm not bragging, but just saying.
Alright, true. I mean, I guess the Arrow did not hit its mark with us, and yeah, I see you Necro rubbing salt in our wounds right there. But hey, man, fair enough. Like, I think props has to be given, of course, to Salt Esports for the way they're playing, because while I think you, of course, expected Salt to win, am I wrong in believing that I don't think it was expected to be this dominant? And the dominance, I feel like, purely coming from every player stepping up. Yesterday, I felt like it was 1 or 2 players stepping up in each map. Like, for example, on Bind, it was Stranger and Trick really stepping up. On the side of Haven, it was really then Stranger, Casper, and we saw a lot of Beast even. But today, every single player, I have nothing to take away from, because they are stepping up. And I love the fact that it's in the finals. It tells you a lot about a team, that when it comes to a high-stakes environment, if they perform, that means pressure makes them better. And if Salt is that sort of team, they're in for a treat if they get to that main event. And the way it looks, they're certainly getting to that main event.
Exactly. I couldn't put it better. If you perform, better in pressure, then you're in for a treat for the future competitions. And I really want to see how Salt performs against the best in the future.
Yeah.
But as we all know, right, still one more map is yet to come, and it's going to be on Breeze. So I really wanted to know, what kind of Asian picks do you expect? I mean, Viper, without a doubt, it is a necessity. If you don't see Viper on a team, I feel like they're putting themselves in a disadvantage. Sorry, they're putting themselves in a disadvantage without picking a Viper. So I feel like Viper in the map of Breeze is one of the most essential agents, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess I'll go off player by player. So for the side of Arrow first, 100% Prota to be on that Sky, 100% Butsab to be on that Jet, and Darky finally on that Cypher, which leaves the last 2 players to pick up a Viper and another controller ideally, or maybe another player picks up the Sky so Prota can play the Sova Sky. But we've seen already in a finals qualifiers matchup how much better the double controller is than the double initiator on the side of Breeze. So I hope they've seen the India qualifiers. I hope they've realized that we want to have those 2 smoke agents with one with the Viper. So you really relieve some pressure off of her. And when you go towards the side of Salt Esports, that's where I expect Hats to be the one stepping up. I think he might be picking up the Astra again on this map so that another player like potentially Casper can pick up the Viper, or the other way around. Maybe Hats can pick up the Viper and Casper can stay on the Astra, or even an Omen. Personally, I prefer Viper Omen over Viper Astra, but I think that's how it's going to go. And I'm excited to see what Salt bring to the table because it's a completely unknown quantity here for both teams.
Honestly, I really feel like Omen's a great character when it comes to Breeze. Like Omen and Astra, I feel like are one of the best controllers inside the map of Breeze, without a doubt. But then again, I feel like when it comes to Breeze, you need to have at least 2 controllers in your team. One to kind of smoke out, and then you have Viper coming in as well. So 2 controllers, 1 sentinel in the team as well, and then you can have duelists as well if you want. I mean, it really just depends on how you want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a double duelist, even I'm not really against it. I could see something like Gotcha and Reina happening because while it's not the greatest, it's certainly not bad. And like not as bad as potentially like, for example, you playing a Yoru. Even though his kit is really great for Breeze, the audio cues are just not good enough. Maybe we see a couple of breaks for now. Now, let's take a look at the scorecard, see what the MVP is. I expect definitely Stranger once again to be on the top, but this time, as we expect, Hats. Take your hat off for this man. 4 first bloods, 21 kills, 300 plus ACS. This is the race we wanted to see yesterday.
Exactly. This is definitely the race we wanted to see, but it's fine. He delivered in the final where he needed to be delivering the most. He delivered at that time, and I feel like that's what it matters the most. So 4 first bloods for himself, that's going to be giving him that MVP status as well. On the other hand, Darky did quite a great job with the team of Arrow, so he's of course going to be getting that MVP for himself. Protagonist, well, still, we're not really seeing the players that we expected to kind of stepping up. For example, I mean, Butsop, in that previous game, he was kind of getting shut down instantly. Same goes with MSK, Protagonist. And Godchild, though, he was doing quite a great job. He was trying his best to back Darky up, but props should be given to Darky, even though he's playing Cypher. He's doing a great job. I mean, aggressing in the sides and lurking around.
I do want to bring the limelight to one player I feel like that has gone unnoticed, not just today, but even yesterday. We have talked about him a bit, but not as much as I feel like he deserves, especially after this match. Because regarding the point you mentioned about Butsab, I feel like all of this, the shutdown that happened to him, purely because of Beast. That's the player I'm talking about. The way he's able to use that Killjoy, adapt really well to Arrow's playstyle. As a Killjoy player myself, I feel like when you haven't necessarily got the aim, don't get me wrong, Beast has got the aim, but you really rely on your game sense to make sure your setups are on point for where the pushes are coming through. And I still come back to that point I made in that buy round where when you know you're holding a anchor, you want one of those nano swarms right under the transformer area, because the only position for the Jet to aggressively dash in now in the meta is that updraft dash with the Cloudburst on top of the transformer. So if you're able to nullify that Jet completely, considering the fact that the second duelist is not like a Raze or like even a Yoru that can't get in instantly, it just leaves that Jet all alone. So props to be given to Beast. For now, though, let's take a small break and we'll be back with you in a jiffy for map 3 of this finals matchup. Get some snacks and join us real soon.
Exactly. That's a 2-0 right there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NODWIN Valorant Conquerors Championship, the road to VCT 2021 for the South Asia region. We're currently in the Pakistan-Afghanistan Qualifier finals. It's Team Arrow versus Salt, and right now, the wounds are deep for Team Arrow because Salt is dominant, 13-7, 13-6. Necro, I gotta ask you, man, do you think it's gonna be 13-5 and a 3-0?
Look, I've already predicted 3-1, right?
Mhm.
But the way Salt is playing, man, they're not letting Arrow breathe. They're not even letting them breathe, man, for a while. Like, they have just cut off the complete lifelines of overall Arrow. So I don't really know what exactly I expect from Salt at this moment, because this is the map of Breeze. Even if Arrow does win, so I really feel like over here maybe that's just because of the map of Breeze, and maybe they have a little bit of better grasp on it. But let's just see. As I did mention, it really depends if any of the team doesn't really take any kind of Viper into them, because we have seen so many weird things happen in the Pakistan region. So I'm expecting at least a team that might not go for Viper. Okay, Salt's already going for that Viper, so I like this. Hopefully Arrow takes the Viper as well. If they don't, they're in for a massive disadvantage. I'm hoping to see MSK picking that Viper. Please pick it up. I mean, if he does, then that's going to be a massive thing.
Yeah, we expect to see the Viper on both sides. I don't think either team is going to risk it without the Viper. But let's go on to the agent select screen, because I do believe Necro is ahead of us by a couple seconds. Getting the forward news. But let's take a look at what these players are actually picking up for themselves. I do notice now that with these players all primed up, you can see they're all just chilling out. Salt Esports, they're very comfortable in the way they are, and I especially like the full-on concentration mode for Beast. It shows you that he's getting ready with the outplays. But what really stands out to me is the smile on Hatz's face, because I didn't see that yesterday, and I love the fact that he's just back in his comfort zone.
I feel like we missed the agent select screen there. We're late to the party there. I mean, I definitely did get that info. So thankfully, both the teams have that Viper in their team. So I'm really happy for that kind of a moment going in. MSK got the Viper for Team Arrow. So at least this is looking decent for them right now.
Omen. Oh. Okay, I'm really sorry, Arrow. I know I predicted for you guys, but Viper Omen is far, far, far better than Sova Sky. Like, there is a massive difference, and I hope it's gonna like show off, because I've been begging for this Omen pick for so long, not just in the VCC but in general before that, in my analysis. So I'm excited to see how it works out. But right now it's gonna be Arrow on the attack, taking aggressive horse control, opening up the door, but they got that classing in the face. Casper back to his battle stage.
One enemy remaining.
Casper delivers with the classing. He's not going to let us down today. Metal Dome presence was being shown from the lads, but it doesn't matter. Wow, that's a flawless shutdown. Hopefully I could say flawless there, but Casper was taken down, but it's fine. That was so quick. Arrow being a little too aggressive. Do they want to end this game quick, though? I mean, Arrow, please. You utilize some tactics. That would help you guys quite a lot. And as you did mention, so Sky, I mean, having Omen and Sova is far better. Omen, Sova, and Viper is far better than having a Sova Sky, which is understandable. Look, the main problem here is that they just don't have any smokes. Arrow doesn't have any smokes. What is Arrow? I mean, I'm sorry if I'm being a little too rude, but having smokes is really important in games like this. But wow, they're already doing a decent amount of damage, so at least it's fine. Doing amount of damage already in the eco rounds is should give them a lot of. Please fall back from here, Casper. And yes, he doesn't, so he will have to pay the price for it. Salt getting a little overconfident, and they will be punished.
The funny thing is, this is giving me a bit of deja vu, because exactly even in the India qualifiers, a really nice quick scope from Stranger. But yeah, as I was saying, a team won the pistol, and then the opposite team got a thrifty immediately after. And it shows you that teensy bit of inexperience from these teams in general on this map. MSK will pick up the kill. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, not enough smokes for Arrow, but they've still got that Viper. It's not like it's like impossible to pull it off. It's just extremely hard. You put a lot of pressure on to your Viper player. So we'll see if MSK is able to live up to it. Because if you do, then the Sova Sky does have a lot of utility that can help the aggression of Team Arrow. The thrifty will come out from Darky. and the fact that they only lost one weapon while picking up the weapons of their counterparts means that they get to play a free bonus in this next round. Salt have to eco, and going back to that composition discussion, again, like the aggression is helped by the fact that they have two initiators. For MSK, he's gonna have to be picture perfect throughout the map. A single slip up, a single death too early, and without that smoke, Breeze is such a difficult map to navigate.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I am still so surprised. But unfortunately, Salt even lost that arrow was on an eco, and this Salt still managed to kind of lose that. That was a hard eco as well. I like that snake fight just to stop Arrow from making that aggressive push, but still it's not going to be stopping Buttstop though. Walks straight inside. Trick is down to such low HP as well. That's an easy walk in. Oh, Trick, nothing much can be done if you're in his position. Easily taken down by MSK. That's a great wall from the Viper. At this point in time, that's a pretty execution, pretty easy execution coming out from the lads of Arrow. I expect them to win this round.
Yeah, it's just all about damage here from the side of Salt. Now, the alarm board being taken down does signal their presence towards that B elbow area. All three members coming in from here. The Spectre primed for the action gets one, and with the recon going out, it's Gotcha to pick up another. Darky should be able to finish it up. The Shock Dart gets a decent bit of value, but it doesn't matter to Arrow at the end of the day. It was their bonus, and they only lost one weapon, so they can continue playing bonuses here. And considering the fact that they're on the attack, these bonuses are actually really valuable because of the way the map of Breeze is structured. You can go with your Spectres towards either the A shop angle where the ult orb is to get yourself that early ult top control, possibly get it on Darky so he has that Hunter series set up for this round, or you can go towards the B elbow. Of course, in this round, they are going to go towards that A side. Halls can test with a couple of players, and then A shop is the way I expect. And you can see the pings on the map signaling where they want that Viper's wall. And with that Viper wall, the Killjoy just holding onto the Halls. The rest of the team going to go for that A execute.
Cover going.
That's for now. Look at this. Omen is just so good when it comes to controlling the side as well. And this is why you really need at least Omen or Bravestone. And that's why Arrow might be struggling in the later phases, but at least for now, they're looking decent. Salt getting punished. Entry has been found. Wall goes down of the Viper. This will reveal so much info to Salt. Oh, that's a great tag onto him. But it's not looking at least good for now. Casper was blind for quite a while. Arrow doing quite a great job fighting back. Oh, those were a lot of shots being exchanged. A lot of mags being unloaded here and there. Trick. He needs a fresh magazine, that's for sure, and he will get it. It's a 1-on-3 situation. Saving is the right option, and yes, that's what he does. For now, Arrow is off to a great start. We might just see Arrow pulling off this map.
1v3 on the map right now. Trick just gonna go for the save here. Is the right move to make and should be able to secure it because it's not an aggressive hunt by Arrow just yet. And with the round getting done, I will say that considering the fact that I feel Arrow is much more of a attack inclined team, their aggressive nature really comes through, their proactive nature really comes through, added on by the fact that Breeze definitely an attacker-sided map. We do have to, you know, consider the first half with a grain of salt, I would say. Because for Salt themselves, they need to just pull off, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 rounds, and then going on to their own attack. The fact that they've got the Viper Omen is where it really comes into play, because there's no angle for Arrow to really hold because of the volume of smokes available to Salt, and the fact to add on that they've got the Sage to just cut off the angle when they want to go for the spike plant. Having said that, they still need those 4 or 5 rounds. So if Arrow can keep up the momentum here, I think, as you said, this might just be the map in their bag. Too early to decide though. We'll see what happens now. A late wall from the side of Salt. A retake wall essentially. A line for the spike plant. They should start contesting it right about now. Snakebites though coming through from Beast is going to deny the angle. The post plants aren't held by Arrow and they're in a pickle here. They got to find the first kill and it's MSK who delivers.
MSK delivers pretty much, but it's Arrow domination up till now pretty much entire time. Salt isn't really able to get much done inside this map. Salt do seem they do seem kind of weak on Breeze, that's for sure. But maybe I'm just too quick to make any kind of speculations. But that's going to be Arrow getting another round in their favor. Until now, it's just Arrow domination all over the place.
Yeah, and like going back to the compositions, like I feel like there is a key mistake being made by Salt here. You want to see that Sage actually playing anchor as much as possible. You want to use that wall to either shut down halls or shut down the A main entry itself. So if you're able to do that, then the Jet op can anchor mid itself, and then the Viper can play that solo B anchor playset, allowing the Omen and the Sova to be much more flexible in their approach, where then you can see that paranoia come out. Because the one thing Salt definitely do not have are flashes. Without flashes, retaking is so hard on Breeze, so you have to play aggressively as anchors to make sure that you don't actually let them plant. So let's see if they're able to do that here, because now the Sneakers coming out, hunting them down one by one. They're Sova ultimate to add it on, but Stranger, you know he doesn't miss. Make sure to trade it with his own Sova ultimate. Hats now finding another kill, securing the advantage for Salt, and this is what I like. Getting the damage done before the plant happens means now they have a numbers advantage to the retake. Scratch that, Godchild is nullified.
I don't really know why Hatches he wasted his paranoia over there. I don't really get that. Maybe he just wanted to stop Arrow from being that aggressive. Oh, Beast, he's moving in. He finds MSK. That's kind of tricky mistake being made from his side. MSK, please next time check your back lines as well. Salt, this is pretty much a round being gifted to Salt. If Arrow is not able to pull this off, the time is not really looking in his hands. He picks up the operator. Omen does know he needs to back off. Just in the right nick of time, he will. Pretty much, at least for now, he will be safe. But they might just meet. They might just meet in mid. Oh, this is pretty close. No.
Again, doesn't look like Salt are comfortable on the retakes on this map, because in a 4v3 position, you don't really need to think much. You need to press the W key, clear out that pyramid's left side angle first, and then go for the A main contest. You don't need to worry about mid doors because of the fact that you have got that Omen to just set up a smoke for that area. But instead, they individually try to clear out angles, and while they get the kills, the fact that they're doing it one by one does mean that they don't have enough time to actually pull off the round. Salt, they need to be much faster on this map, because post plants are much simpler for the side of Arrow, especially since they're playing much more aggressively on the attack, not really using much utility, saving it for their post plant. Now, Trick on the Blade Storm is going to be Hats on the Omen carrying the operator. Not something we get to see often, but not going to get any action. Instead, Arrow taking full house control. It's MSK once again being the entry tag at Viper.
Exactly. With that, slowly, steadily moving inside. Darky already opening things up. That's a great shot from Hats. He's gonna deliver this time. He does know he hasn't been performing that great. Missing the second shot as well. Please connect the third one. But Zombie's right behind that box. He doesn't really know where he's gonna be peeking from. Left or right, left or right. His mind can't make up a decision right now. Yes, gun barrel being spotted. That pretty much should have. No, missing the third shot as well. What's going on? Finally, thank God Casper's there in the back lines. Also, the resurrection's inbound. Hats is missing a lot of shots. Maybe the operator's not working in Hats' hands tonight. Should be switched over to someone else. But Sahab, there's just so much weirdness happening inside this particular round. Slowly, steadily moving in. But Sahab, Arrow, look at this man. He's trying to peek out on the A-man. Does know the resurrection did happen on the A-man, so Casper has to be there. So two players positioning is pretty much confirmed. Omen doing a great job dishing out a decent amount of damage, and that's a great bait from Hats.
Yeah, and I think your last line sums up the entire round, because while Hats did miss a couple of key shots, he survived for so long that he became the bait. All of Arrow trying to hunt him down, Salt able to respond in style and pick them up piece by piece. And Hats, kudos to him. Well, I understand not the greatest of shots. The fact that he survived for so long, crouching and dodging those shots, made sure that his team was there to back him up at the end of the round. And now, with that round one, Salt have been able to stabilize their eco for a bit. Now play on that, and I love this. The Viper Spray coming out to shut down that A-main entry. The Casper there with him to back him up, because as soon as you see that Viper Spray, you expect the Sova drone and the Trailblazer to come out. A lot of investment. Beast does get taken down, but an instant trade-off. Mid-control gain for Salt Esports. And still, Arrow's stuck in this A side. They need to execute fast.
They need to definitely execute fast. The entry on the side has already been found. Now Salt is trying their best to fight back, but it seems like Arrow is doing quite a great job hitting that A side over and over again. And it seems like Salt isn't really able to tackle them down. Arrow, though, look at this. If in these kind of moments, if actually he delivers, then maybe there's a possibility that we might just see a clutch happening. Trick slowly, steadily moving in. Darky taken down. Trick exactly know where he is. Oh, that's a great shot from him. It has came down to Hats, and finally he does not miss a shot. He's going to be connecting that crucial shot. He strikes when his team needed him the most.
It's a Halloween night because this certainly wasn't a treat for Arrow. Trick pulling out the 4K. It shouldn't be happening because after that execute, you can play easily on the post plants, but Arrow, they're feeling confident, and rightfully so. Like, I'm not going to say that they shouldn't be feeling confident because they have been playing really well, and we wanted to see that confidence from them. But Trick punishing it with a Phantom nonetheless. Like, he got a Vandal later in the round, but the first kill he picked up long range from the mid doors was with that Phantom. Getting that 2-tap burst on point to find the headshot, secure the kill, and make sure the retake goes on. Hats compliments him and picks up the last kill. And now Salt fighting back. They're maintaining just a 2-round gap. And considering that they are on the defense, it's really cool. Now again, you see that default? The paranoia coming out very aggressively to allow Trick to get into an advanced position. They've taken B for themselves. And this means they can stack up this A site and make sure they don't get in. And this is what I wanted. They wanted them to contest more on the entry rather than play on the retake. I love the fact that Salt have adapted to this.
I absolutely love that they have adapted to this as well.
Wait a minute.
But look at this, though. What exactly is happening? What's going on? Oh, that's a great lineup, but no, a little too late to make that lineup happen. And Trick wraps around from the back lines. I was actually pretty interested to see what exactly is that kind of lineup. Seeker's out. Pretty much Sky is there to find that entry on the side. But moving it real fast, real quick. That was a great flash as well. Sky basically helping so much to make that entry happen. Godchild in the mid, lurking around. Trick did not expect him to be there. So many lurks and flanks happening all over the place. Stranger came out on top in that fight. Godchild missed quite a decent amount of shots.
I cannot believe that Arrow did not get punished because they made a crucial mistake this round. Look at the minimap and look at that Viper wall. That's the tiniest Viper wall I've ever seen. And the fact that they don't get punished for that Viper wall is a bit of a question mark from the side of Salt. When you see that Viper wall, all you really need to do is hold near those boxes, because the whole point of the Viper wall going all the way through backside is those couple of boxes in the A site itself gets denied that sight line. You can't hold there anymore. So when you see the Viper wall hasn't extended to the backside, you don't need to contest the site itself. Then you can play those boxes and you can try to punish Arrow when they entry. It requires a bit of spontaneous adaptation and awareness. And Salt not able to do that. Instead, they get caught off guard in their aggressive pushes and they get taken out. Arrow, despite that teensy mistake that could have been big, still able to pull off the round and secure this 3-round lead. Now, the buys are still there for Salt. It's going to be Trick playing on his Bladestorm. But if they lose this round, the buys are going to go off. So all eyes on Trick, because he is the one really leading the charges. When he gets the kills, they win the round. When he doesn't, it does look like they are a completely different animal.
Exactly. 3-6 is the scoreline. Arrow is pretty much has that lead onto themselves for now. Tiger's out to scout any kind of areas out. Proda is doing quite a great job. But look at this. Trick already has pushed it so deep with that Bladestorm, but does he expect someone right under him? Please check that corner. Oh, that's a great timing from Godchild. Thank God he peeked up there, or else that would have been a massive kind of investment from Trick, and he would have delivered quite well as well.
Salt are on the wrong side of the map, and Arrow are taking full advantage. Free B side for them, and Salt extremely late to this party. The Killjoy lockdown just for safety's sake means that they are guaranteed this side. The spike will go down, and MSK even has one snake bite to play for the post plant. Hat's missing a shot, and Prota finding a double just shuts off any hope of a retake in this round. Stranger is able to do some damage, but I really hope they save their weapons here, because their eco is looking really bad for Salt. And just as I say that, Stranger going down, Salt need to run for the hills, because right now that Viper, as much as he can save, it would be good for the team. But I don't think Arrow are going to allow that at all. Already the hunt has begun.
Already the hunt has begun. And look at that butts up. Well, pretty much it's predictable that he has to be on A side. And Beast is looking on to, seems like he's looking on to Amen, hoping that maybe someone will come in from Amen's side. And wow, that's a great pre-fire as well. Wow. I mean, that run seems like running shoot still works.
Run and gun further in. Nah, I'm just kidding. I think it was because Beast took an earlier shot right before that, and they knew that he was right around those pyramids. So with that jet, especially the stability you get when you're just gliding in the air, and of course combined with the pristine aim of a player like Batsab, meant that Arrow able to now pick up a 4-round lead, force the ego of Salt down to a gutter, and make sure that they're effectively guaranteed at least that 4-round lead going into the next half. Having said that, 2 marshals coming out for Salt, and we've already seen a thrifty in this map before by these teams, so anything is possible. But look at this, the strats being changed, a simple Viper wall to cut off both the defender side spawn as well as mid tunnels means that the easy plant will go through, and post plants is going to be very hard to retake with 2 marshals.
It's definitely going to be really hard to retake there, but look at that shot from Casper. Seems like Salt finally has woken up.
Hello?
Shot. Wow, that's what's happening out of nowhere. There's just so many surprises filled inside this map. Trick as well connecting that shot. Oh my god, this is an absolute party to witness. Stranger as well connecting those shock darts. What just happened? Out of nowhere, the tables have been flipped in their favor. Arrow, Butsab is trying his best to kind of turn this situation into his favor. But look at Hats' position. I knew he's not going to be expecting Hats to be in that kind of an off angle.
What?
Thrifty.
Casper? What were those shots? The Sheriff? I said it would be hard to retake with marshals, but it certainly becomes easy when your Sheriff players are just one-tapping players out of existence. Casper and Hats picking those 2 kills, and then of course Stranger. We ain't no stranger to those shock dart kills. Able to clear out backside, even though Batsab puts up a really good performance. A lot of that down to the fact that I think they gave him the isolated 1v1s. As you said, Hats just staying calm, holding the off angle, expecting Batsab once he's got a kill on the left to jiggle to the right, and as soon as he does that, he gets taken down. Salt getting a thrifty. Oh my god. These teams are so close to each other in the rounds, but it's still Arrow with a 3-round lead, and now into this last round, they will look to maintain that. An early Trailblazer will get B elbow control, as well as make sure there's no one towards that mid-nest area, but the fact that the Sova wasn't spotted out does mean that Stranger can back up now. The drone coming through, I think they spotted his shoulder, and now they're just going to make sure he doesn't peek in from there. Full mid control for the side of Team Arrow, but look at Trick on the other side of the map, already pushing from the side. Hats will get a kill, funneling them to Trick, and while Trick does get tagged really low, he's going to force all of them to chase down Trick, and all of this time bought for the side of Team Salt with that man advantage in their favor.
They definitely do have man advantage, but Trick is down to such low HP. So I don't really know if I want to call that a man advantage. Trick, 1 bullet and Trick will be out the game, but look at this crucial rotation coming out. The Viper wall's inbound as well. As soon as the wall goes up, the entire team of Arrow is going to be pushing up at the same time. A well-coordinated push. Casper still kind of scared from the mid angle. Here comes that incredible push from these lads. Batsab does have that Blessed Storm going in. Dashes straight on the backside. Took a little bit of damage from that snake bot as well. Still nothing really happening on the side. That's pretty much an easy entry. It seems like what Salt wants to do is go for a retake. And this is what exactly they're doing. That's a great shot. Be connected. Here comes the Hunter Fury from Darky. And there goes the Seekers out. Pretty much a hefty amount of investment being made from the lads of Arrow. Seeker still behind Stranger. Please look behind you. Oh, what just happened there?
I think he was trying to just deny the plant considering it was 10 seconds left, but yeah, should have taken out the Seeker Strip. That's okay. Now in a 2v2 situation. The recon coming out for Team Arrow does give the information of Stranger's position. You don't need to take that out. You just need to wait for Hats to come in and then peek together. Hats now in an impossible spot, and Stranger don't need to take that recon out because it wasn't going to spot him in his position. All he needed to do was wait for Hats and then clear out A-main first and then look towards the pillar to take down Prota. But the fact that he peeked for the recon meant that Prota, he's not going to miss those shots through the wall, picks up the kill and allows Arrow to take that 4-round lead going into the second half. Now this is where it gets really, really hard with that single controller composition. So I'm going to keep an eagle eye on how Arrow and in general MSK is able to play this. We expect that Viper to be anchor always, but she needs the support towards the mid to make sure she doesn't get flanked, because Now Salt with that Omen, they're going to cut off every single angle and they're going to rush and try to get into your face, get that Sage to put that wall up early. Very similar to how we see it happen on Icebox, and then just get the plant and play for the post plants. Now, look at this Viper wall for Arrow though. This is a pure retake wall.
It's a pure retake wall. I mean, yeah, first half has been ended. So again, if Salt want to make a comeback happen and do not want Arrow to make any kind of room for themselves, or at least do not want them to get themselves on the board, then yeah, Salt will have to kind of win this round. But honestly, I actually do want Arrow to win this because my predictions were 3-1. So hey, Arrow,
I see you. I see you, Deku.
Oh, look at this still. How slowly they're playing. A change of pace is pretty much well known. Here comes that aggressive push. Finally, the call has been made to remove dashing side to side. That's a great distraction being created. Proto will deliver from the backline. That's a great shot from Trick. Wow, but he's down to such low HP. That means pressure is equally distributed on both of these. Hats is the only one who has a decent amount of HP on the side of Salt. Arrow slowly, steadily moving in, but the main problem here is that he has a Sheriff. Buttstop has a Sheriff, and he can't just, pretty much both of them are one shot. They're down to such low HP. Slowly, steadily moving inside. Godchild, all he can do is just jump and what? One single right click, both out of the game, just like that.
Yeah, they were both really low, and Arrow using that Viper wall really well to cause chaos. It not just retake wall, but when they get the plant up, they're not expecting the wall to be right there, and they get cut off support from their team because of that wall. I think we're going to see on the replay. So you see the dash comes in right there, a 1-for-1 trade, but then Prota playing this off angle, make sure that he gets a double, and that's huge because even though the trades go through, he's done more than enough damage for them to actually push through and make sure that they can't get the Cypher free, can't get into the post plants of their choice. But look at this. Salt going for a force buy here, which makes sense because they did take down 3 members and got a plant. That's usually the math you do, either 4 kills or 3 kills and a plant, and you can go for the force buy. They have the Spectres, and I don't think Arrow is going to expect this. Once again, the same sort of execute, but this time no Sky to shut them down because the smokes were set up. Beast already taken down really low. MSK pressing the W button, able to get 1 kill, and it's Froda actually getting 2 more back. Arrow shutting down Salt before they even get a moment to actually think and execute.
Exactly. At least for now, Salt is on that struggling phase, and again, they do want to make a comeback happen, but all the time, the last 2 players that are surviving from Salt, they're just down to such low HPs. Arrow finally getting their dominance started. I do like this because my predictions is 3-1. Again, I'm saying this.
Look at this round though. Like, I think I have to say, while I like the dash in, what I don't like is the fact that they're so focused on backside, even though they know Prota played that right copy angle just the last round. He got a double kill from the angle just the last round. Again, a double kill from the same angle. You've got to clear out Prota before you prioritize Beast. Before you prioritize MSK, because at that point, if you don't clear out Prota, even if you take backside for yourself, you're just stuck in backside. You can't actually plant the spike because Prota just chilling there, able to pick up kill after kill. Now Casper being so sneaky here, right behind the boxes. I don't think they're expecting him at all. It's gonna come down to timing. Prota gonna step out, and so is Casper. Finds the 1 tap, gonna get rewarded with a Spectre to his name.
That's a skull-cracking headshot right there, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's a great shot as well, come down from MSK. Instant trades are happening here and there. Salt Trick directly... Oh no, he missed a lot of blades there, but unfortunately... Wow, that's a great swamp grenade from Godchild. Got himself 2 kills, I'm pretty sure even he did not expect to pop off so much with that. Great shot coming out from Salt Stranger. I don't know, Vera, it just seems like Salt has lost their team coordination. Connecting another great shot. Almost, hopefully he could have connected, but no is going to be the answer. MSK is there to save the day.
I think the biggest issue with the way Salt are playing right now is if you're playing that double control composition, and I do want to go back to the India qualifiers to highlight this point. What I'm trying to say is if you're playing the double controller composition, you can't play this fast. Of course, executes are a part of your strategy, but they're more pocket strats than your actual defaults. But so far, the only thing we've seen from the side of Salt Esports on the attack are pure executes. They always stack. They don't actually use their smokes to deny info and gain control of the map point by point and then look for the execute. Instead, they're just making it obvious to Arrow where they're coming, and Arrow just like happy with that because you know what? with that Sova Sky, then you have so much utility to shut down one particular angle. The Sky can play on one side and the Sova, so you have info on both, and you're not being denied the info because of the smokes. Gotcha, once again, the Nano Swarm placement is just picture perfect. Picking up a kill, the spike has been planted, and Hats is on the alert. It's all down to Hats here. He needs to pick up a couple kills to make sure his team picks up the round.
Needs to pick up a couple of kills.
Oh no.
Look at that, no. He has been spotted. Oh no, I don't really know why Hats stopped there. You need to understand that's the area where you can actually get walls banged from. But finally, Beast seems like he's slowly, steadily also trying to fight back in these moments. But Bun Stop, that's a great angle being created on the stairs. Arrow though, wow, for now their domination doesn't stop. It seems it's like impossible. Godchild is there to collect the final kill, and that's it. Arrow getting another round in their favor. 12-4. This is just complete Arrow domination on the map of Breeze, and Breeze is the kind of selection that Arrow wait for, and it seems like finally they made a good decision here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think Salt are not accustomed at all, not just to the map, but to their composition as well. Because, like, take the example of Hats himself, right? Normally, I think a player like Hats who has a lot of confidence, especially after getting MVP in map 2, even if you get tagged by the Sova drone, you're not going to back up. You're going to press the W key. You're like, you know what? I'm already out. I might as well take one down swinging with me. But, you know, because it's Breeze, you have that bit of fear in your head. And Hats tries to run away. As you said, doesn't know that he can get wall banged from those doors and just gives away a free kill. It was down to him on that lurk to try and pick up the round for the side of Team Salt. Now, a much more shallow Viper wall here, playing way more dependent on just getting this Sage wall up and the plant down. But Casper did not need to be that aggressive. I'm guessing that's exactly where your reaction came from.
Why? There was no need for him to do that. He already had the side control as well. Just try and chill out, my man. Went a little too aggressive there. Well, that's going to be Beast getting shut down. That means the Viper Pit is also not going to be active anymore. That's a great flash from his side. Only one last man left. Pass. He's trying his best to fight back in these moments, but gets denied instantly by MSK. Why did he decide to push there? Casper could have just easily held onto his position and try and play to the post plant, but still, I don't exactly know. Well, it seems like, well, getting another round in the head. And I'm actually really happy for my predictions at this point.
Necro more focused on his predictions than the fate of these two teams. But hey, definitely. Man, at this point, though, I will give props to Arrow. They were 100% prepared for the map. They knew exactly what their composition gave and what their composition didn't. I particularly like the fact, even though we didn't actually get to see it on the screen as much, MSK played it perfectly. He was never down too early. Even when they were executing into his face, he was always able to divert the attention onto him and let Protip play those off angles where he was able to pick up the kills. The Viper making sure that she does the damage before she's down, meaning the second controller not as much miss. But for Team Salt, you got to understand that your composition, it's all about getting those like control. Like, for example, with the paranoia, you can just paranoia halls and rush it down with a dash, or you can paranoia that B elbow the way they were doing on their defense, but they didn't do a single time on their attack. You can even paranoia backside when they were trying to go for that A execute, but we didn't see a single piece of that. Instead, we just saw executes, and to rub salt into their own wounds, I guess. I don't think they knew the lineups for the post plants in after their executes, which means you can't even play with the Viper Snakebite on the post plants. You just felt like they did not give themselves enough options to actually try and win this map.
Exactly. I mean, the thing was like this was pretty much well calculated by Arrow. They pretty much knew that Breeze is their weakness, and Arrow came studying here. And there's nothing much to be said there. Rather than it seemed like they're missing the tuning there. I mean, it seemed like Team Arrow was completely intact, completely in tune. They knew how to play the map of Breeze, and they exactly did that. On the other hand, if you talk about the other team, Salt, it seemed like there was just missing. The coordination was missing. Everything was missing. Even the aims. They were missing a lot of shots on those kind of movements. And I just felt like so many mistakes were being made by Salt. And if I start to point that, I feel like in each and every single round, I would at least find 1 to 2 mistakes.
Definitely. I think it does come down to a question mark as to why Salt banned Haven and not Breeze if they're not comfortable with Breeze at all. 'Cause
Exactly.
even if like even if they were scared of Arrow on Haven, I feel like given the fact that they know the map much better, they would have played much better than they did on Breeze right now. But fair enough. They've got the two map lead already. They can afford to lose this one, but they have to remember this gives a lot of momentum and confidence to Arrow, and they're that sort of team. If they get the momentum and confidence, especially in the hands of a player like Prota, hasn't been able to step up in map 1 and 2, has hit some amazing shots, but hasn't been able to deliver on the consistency that really made him stand out yesterday for us. So I want to see if Prota can continue that level of aggression and that level of confidence going into map 4, because now a possible reverse sweep on the cards. I will still say Salt should have it in the bag, but Arrow definitely are back in the form we expect. Now it's just a question of, was it just a Breeze thing, or was it an actually Arrow is back thing?
I just feel like that was a Breeze thing. Honestly, I really felt like that was a Breeze thing because look, I just felt like there was something missing from the lads of Salt, without a doubt. I mean, if you saw how they're playing in the previous 2 map and then you compare how they played in Breeze, it just felt like clearly anyone can tell that it just felt like they're missing that tuning there. They're missing that team coordination. They did not seem coordinated at all, and it clearly tells us that Arrow, or Salt, sorry, is not really comfortable on Breeze, and they should have banned Breeze if they're not really that good.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I will say that going into map 4, I do want to know if Edo just go back to comfort, because while Hats did a decent job on the Omen, it didn't look like he could actually get to the form that he was on the race, because it didn't seem like he knew what he wanted to do with the Omen. Like, he was playing the op a lot.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually being the playmaker. I felt like his smokes were delayed quite a bit because of the fact that he was playing the op. And then on the attack, when he was trying to lurk, I don't think lurking is his playstyle. He's the entry. Like on the raise, you could see him causing a lot of chaos on the attack, on the entry, and even on the defense, he was playing the anchor role, which he wasn't able to do with the Omen. So I want to see him back to a pick he's comfortable on, because I missed that show, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, I like how you beautifully pointed out there. It clearly showed that he's not really that comfortable on Omen, and he's like really comfortable on using other, like especially Jet and stuff like that. So maybe in the future map, hopefully he picks up the Asian that he's really comfortable with. So on the other hand, MVP of course goes towards Strick, because he tried his best to fight back in those kind of moments, but it was just complete Arrow domination, like 13 to 4. And as I did mention, if a team that is winning back-to-back 2 maps, and then in the third one they get dominated this hard, there has to be something going wrong with Salt, and this is what happened.
Yeah, definitely. Trick did try his best, but the fact that Jet has 0 first bloods really speaks to the lack of a Sky in there. While I love Stranger on Sova, I feel like Breeze just demands a Sky. Like, you cannot go wrong with the Sky on this map. You don't. While the Sova is great and all, and you can see Darky's performance on the Sova was really good, it does feel like with the lack of a Sky, comparing the Sova to the Sky, the fact that the Seekers are just 6 points, the fact that A-Shop ults are very easy to access. If you look at the ultimate points for all the agents across on the side of Salt, who do you really want to feed ult points to? The Viper? She's never going to be actually with you on those pushes. She wants to be the lurker, or she wants to be holding that backside angle. If you feed it to the Sage, it feels like the Resurrection is too position and round dependent. You need someone to feed those ult points to. And in the past, it used to be the Sova, but considering that he's on 8 ult points now, you can't feed that Sova those ult orbs. You need someone like either a Killjoy or a Sky to feed those ult points to, and that just adds on to how good the Sky is. But for now, that's going to be all for map 3. We'll take a small break and be back in a jiffy with map 4 of this final series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back real quick. I've got to say, I love the fact that these breaks are so short. We just get to hop on from action to action. But hey, welcome back to NODWIN's Valorant Conquerors Championship, the road to VCT 2021 for the South Asia region. I'm CA, joined by Necro here. And after a quick map 3, maybe Arrow back in form. What do you think, Necro?
Maybe they're back in form, but I mean, before this, right, in the break, we were having a discussion about how like Salt's composition is, and you said that they play Jet, Raze, Soa Sage, and Viper. So I really want to see. I mean, of course, that duelist, but the thing is, like, they don't really have any smoker. They do have one controller though, but I mean, look, Viper. I mean, it really depends on how you're going to be utilizing Viper, right? In the end of the day. So, what do you think of Arrow's composition? Because up till now, in the first 2 games, even though their composition has been in the right place, they're still missing something. And what do you think? So what are they missing?
I think they were really missing the aggression that they had with them, because it's very important for a team to play according to their identity. Because if you don't, you sort of start looking like the puggy team we saw them be on Ascent, where they were making random aggression moves, not actually synergetic aggression moves. So I want to see that continue on Icebox, because I do think this is the only map in the entire map pool where the solo Viper is a brilliant pickup. There's not many angles to smoke out. Viper Omen can be decent, but that means you have to either sacrifice a Sage, KJ, and I would rather have a Sage and KJ because of how strong they are in general on the map of Icebox. So I do expect the solo Viper for both of their teams. Well, what I want to see is what Hats plays, because the last time Salt played Icebox in quarterfinals, they played Jet, Raze, Viper, Sage, and Sova. That means no Killjoy, instead picking up the Raze, which is fine in terms of the utility trade-off, but the issue is that means your duelist really needs to pop off. And since Hats did in Ascent, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's still a little sus because it's scary. You know, the KJ is like a guaranteed safety bonus where you can rely on your utility. Raze is a lot more skill dependent.
Exactly. Raze is a lot more skill dependent, but I still feel like Raze is a great pickup when it comes to the map of Icebox. But as for so long, we have seen Darky picking up that Cypher. And I personally feel like Cypher isn't really that great on the map of Icebox. Instead, you can always go ahead and play that Killjoy. If Darky does go ahead and pick up that Cypher inside this, then I feel like that would be a pretty questionable move. If it does, then I'm going to be definitely disappointed, without a doubt.
I think it will end up being like Salt for Salt trick on that Jet, Hats on that Raze. I expect the Viper to go either to Beast or possibly to Darky himself, because he did play the Sova here, because they don't play a Sentinel at all. They actually prefer the Sage Sova. So expecting Stranger on that Sova and Casper on the Sage, it does make sense for the last person to be Beast on the Viper. And on the other side, I wonder what Darky does play. Like, if he can play the KJ, then all well and good. I would like to see that solo duelist composition. Give the Sage to, I would say, Gottschalk so he can play. But we did see Gottschalk actually playing Killjoy on Breeze. So I expect that Killjoy to carry over for Gottschalk on Icebox. And that's why it's so murky and weird for the side of Team Arrow, because we haven't seen them on Icebox at all. And I'm not really sure what they're going to be carrying over, because while MSK was really good on Breeze, I feel like this was once again the case of the semifinals where it didn't feel like they were being truly tested. So now going on to Icebox, which is Salt's pickup, it's going to be an interesting affair. If they win this map, I think a reverse sweep is 100% possible.
Exactly. A reverse sweep is 100% possible. This is what you're trying to say. Like, the comeback is definitely possible, without a doubt. But I feel like taking a look at the past as well in the qualifiers, I mean, Salt has been really good on Icebox. They have been pretty good. They have been pretty decent. And so far, Salt has been dominating the competition. In Breeze, it seemed like something was missing between them. That team synergy didn't really click in. But I feel like in Icebox, I'm expecting greatness out of them.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they just took a vacation, went to the Caribbean islands for Breeze. They're like, you know what? We'll just chill a little bit. We got 2 maps in the bag already. Catch some nice wind and, just chill, get the vibe through. Because I can't imagine why else they wouldn't ban Breeze.
Exactly.
I don't really understand it. I guess it's the idea that they wanted to try out their double controller composition and had a good scrim performance in their past, but scrims don't necessarily translate into competitive, especially if you've never played that map in competitive. But that's okay. It's all over. We'll put it in the past and we'll look towards Icebox because this is a crucial map. As you said, Salt has always defaulted to picking Icebox if they can. Even in the quarterfinals, Icebox was their first map picked up. They are very comfortable on this map. So for Arrow to really prove that the comeback is on, they need to start off strong on Icebox. And Icebox is all about the momentum because the op is so important. We've seen both But Sahab and Trick be phenomenal on their operator. So it's not just the defensive side op. Sometimes you see even the attacking side operator come out. So whichever team gets that strong stride going in, strong momentum going in, and of course the strong economy, that operator is going to make all the difference in the world.
Exactly. That operator is definitely going to be making all the difference in the world. And now talking about Trick, I mean, we all do know this man is an absolutely great operator, and I feel like Icebox is the perfect map for opping as well. So it does have, you know, even on the B side, you know, those long distance angle all the way from CT towards spawn, and then on the A side you have from the rafters towards heaven. So I mean those are some real good angles for an opper, and I do know that Trick is of course a man. You can expect that he's not going to be missing those shots those. On the other hand, Hats, I mean, in the past, we have seen that man play Raze even on Icebox, so maybe he'll pull out the Raze as well and go a little bit of aggressive gameplay. He might just show us that.
I do want to see him on the Raze. As much as I theoretically and objectively do not like the Raze at all on Icebox, I think Hats has a way of even making sure, even though the utility is hella expensive now, 400 credit boombot, he manages to find value every single time, either in terms of info or just damage. And the satchels can make a lot of difference to actually give company to the Jet, because usually that's your biggest problem on Icebox when you're playing solo duelist. The Jet has a lot of pressure on her to be that entry alone with no backup at all. She has to create the space and get that Sage in to then put up the wall and go for the plant. But if you have a Raze with you, you always have that company. If you even get taken out, or if they have a setup that just nullifies your presence, the Hats will come through on the Raze and be able to actually make sure that the tides turn back in your favor. So I do want to see that for them. But for the side of Arrow, I'm curious, because while I expect just the standard, the Sage, KJ, Viper composition with that solo Jet duelist, I think they're the sort of team that could actually potentially pull off a Sova Sky on the side of Icebox, because they love aggression and they love moving in aggressively. Maybe they pick up the Sky. It's not the greatest of agents on Icebox, but hey, we'll find out. For now, let's quickly go on to the agent select screen and find out what we have on the table. And oh my God, a Sky and a Raze and no Viper. Oh, this is split. I guess we got the wrong info. Stranger on the breach. Oh, okay, I love that.
Oh, okay. Something a little bit of switcheroos here and there, and well, whoa, it's split being played. Okay, yeah, as you did mention, I guess we got a little bit of wrong info there, unfortunately, but it's fine. We were talking a lot about Icebox, but well, it seems
we'll
like
just put that in the archive for the next map.
Possible next map. We were just talking about the next map, which is going to be Icebox, and you know, we just like to stay 2 steps forward. You know, you never know, maybe Arrow might just pull this one off. That's why we were having such a massive conversation about Icebox, but it's fine. The split is the map that is going to be played for now, and as you did mention, a little bit of switcheroos here and there, strangers on that breach. I want to see how he's going to be gathering that value from those breach kind of utilities. And at the same time, of course, breach is a great agent, but it also comes to staying back and supporting your team, and at the same time you can use breach aggressively as well.
What I'm really confused about, though, is Prota on the Sky, because if I see a Sky, I instantly want to see a Viper on Split. I just feel like that combo works so well together, but they don't have the Viper. Instead, they have an Astra, and it can work well. The issue I'm just trying to highlight, though, is if you have a Jet in Raze and you are a team that loves playing aggressively, why not just go for the breach and, you know, really complement your aggression with the fast playstyle the breach offers? But either ways, we'll see what these teams have to offer, because for Salt, the breach, Sage, and KJ, this lineup excels on both attack as well as defense. And attack is exactly where they're going to be starting off. B-main aggression does result in garage control for that KJ and her team. Now with mid control for them as well, going to slowly rotate over. It's going to be the breach to set up the execute.
Exactly, slowly and steadily gathering outside the B-main area. Cypher camps there as well to gather info, and if anyone gets spotted, that's going to be pretty much clear. The intentions are now revealed that they want to go inside B. That's a great flash from Stranger. That's going to be helping them to get inside the side as well. As long as they're not finding any opening, it's kind of tough to... What? Even though he's blind, he finds the kill on Hatch. That's a great shot. But Strange is there to retaliate back in style. What's happening? Arrow is shutting down Salt. Just like as if Salt is being put inside water, and it seems like Arrow pretty much is able to go through Salt sharply.
Yeah, like a hot knife through butter. Arrow just picked them apart. Darky playing it exceptionally well, and I think a lot of it was down to the fact
Look at that, even though he's blind.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Salt are suffering from the lack of a jet in their composition. Like, I love their composition, of course. I don't think a jet is necessary at all. But, and this is a big but, I think they've just got used to Trick dashing in, clearing space for them. And that did not happen here, which meant they got stuck in that stage place. If you have that breach, the execute needs to be snap, 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 quick, quick, quick. If you wait for a second too late, then the Sky's power really comes in because she gets time to set up. And of course, Darky on the side, he don't miss those shots. So Salt going into the next few rounds, we'll see how they are able to adapt. This was just the pistol, but Arrow starting off on the right note if they want to get to map 5. But look at this Astra lurking extremely aggressively. Now on the trap fire, trying to jiggle Casper with just a classic. He'll take out Godchild.
He definitely will take out Godchild. That also has given them kind of a man advantage early off, that this is what they needed. Darky retrieving that Spectre back in his hands. This was pretty much needed. If Casper got the Spectre in his hand, that could have been a little bit of a problem. Being a little too over-aggressive in those kind of moments. MSK is there to catch them off guard. Stranger steps right into his crosshair, and MSK will deliver. Taking one off. Oh, that's a great shot. What? Salt is still able to do so much damage, even though they are on a hard eco. They did not even buy any sheriffs, no ghosts, nothing. They're still able to do so much damage. One stop. Seems like he has been compromised. Trick there as well. Oh, Trick this time going for a battle Sage. Interesting choice. She's switching from Jet all the way towards Sage. That's a massive kind of a change in pace. I don't really know what exactly is going through their mind.
I mean, talking about what's going through their mind, Hat's there. I understand the idea that you hear these footsteps coming aggressively towards you, so you stop the plant and try to contest. But this is an eco for Salt, so I really wish he would have gone through the plant, got that extra money, because Strick himself had that Spectre on his hand. So if the plant went through, then Trick could have got an isolated 1v1 against Prota, and if he wins that 1v1, could have easily played on the post plant from heaven on that plant, maybe pulled out the round, or maybe at least done some damage to the side of Arrow. Having said that, still 3 weapons down for Arrow, which means they have to heavily invest into this round. And Salt have an advantage because this is their true buy. They have all the weapons they need. Now having smoked out mid-vents, they've set up the alarm board. Gonna go for a mid to B approach. Take down that trap fire. Garage control is in the hands of Arrow, but it's much harder to retake from that B heaven push because now Salt don't actually have to commit to this B heaven. They take out that mid-vents player, and now they have all the options on the table. They can rotate to A using their Astra's presence, or they can just force down B using their breach.
They definitely just forced down B. But again, they're still not just able to make their mind where they exactly do want to go and in what direction. Still playing this situation out a little safe, even though they have the man advantage. I like how slow they're taking some things here. Salt do not really want to be over aggressive and commit to any kind of angles like a rookie. Hats has been taken down. There's an equal man advantage on both sides. That's a great double peek, but it doesn't matter because of his teammate. He was not able to dash out of the way. And wow, if I was in that Jet's place, if I was in his place, I would have definitely kind of be pissed. What do you think about that?
I definitely agree, but I don't think they're gonna let emotions come in the way in the middle of the round. So let's see if Arrow can still pull back, because 3v4 with health on their raise really low. Godchild gonna have a difficult time now. Darky does find a kill, and that opens up the floor for a retake, but the time is running out, and the wall being taken down means they know all the breach utility being put through just to delay. It's Strick who finds the first kill, and now because of that, this elbow control guaranteed. MSK don't picking up a double. The flick was really nice, but talking about flicks, Stranger! The flick on Godchild instantly turning towards the elbow to pick up the second. Stranger, not a stranger to these clutch situations. How does he pull it off again and again?
But one thing, we're definitely seeing a lot of phantom like run and gun action over there in the corner.
Yeah.
If you take a look at that in the catwalk, kind of an elbow, look at this, he was running around, found that, then found second one as well. MSK, I mean, that was just an absolute great play. And as we were talking about this, right, as well, like the mechanical aim on these lads is just on another level. Like, they're not missing any kind of flicks, but at the same time, one thing I'm definitely missing in this gameplay is a lot of tactical approach in the game. Maybe in the future, if we get these teams to get like learn a little bit more, pretty sure. Imagine this kind of a mechanical aim with some tacticality in the game as well. Oh, this would be some intense level of, you know, intense level of competitive nature we'll get to see.
Default for Salt has always been to try and walk and take mid control, and Arrow punishing that beautifully. Waited for a bit and then using that Sky Flash to allow Butsop to get the peak. They instantly take down the Killjoy. Salt is trying to answer back, but they need to step up the pace if they want to get into A side. And with that kill, I think they'll do exactly that. The Hats leading the charge into the A side. It will be Stranger getting the plant, and I hope he does go for the open plant. And I believe after this plant as well, he should have the Rolling Thunder online. Yes, he does. So now they can play on that Rolling Thunder. But Prota finding this kill on Casper. They're actually using the Rolling Thunder to take stage for themselves. I don't think that's the right move. Darky Stun still managed to take out Trick. What are these shots? These players are cracked.
These players are absolutely cracked, but look at this. I'm pretty sure Trick is not going to be expecting this flank from his side. Of course, did not expect, but he missed a lot of shots as well. Godchild. Oh no, he's down to such low HP. That's a great stun. Hopefully Stranger peeks out in the right moment. Oh, that's it. That's the Stranger got this round in his back. The way he's approaching this kind of fight. I don't really like this. What?
That's beautiful.
Stranger already made it around, and wow, that's beautifully played from Stranger. Oh, let me tell you what he did. Stranger, this is an absolute 200 IQ play from his side. He used that blast cannon onto the elbow area. He knew the sound is going to be created. With that sound, he pushed around, and that's why Godchild didn't really hear any kind of footsteps from Stranger. That's absolutely a big brain play coming out from this lad.
What I really like is the fact that he did not kill the Boombot till the last moment. So as soon as he hears the satchels coming out to sight, he takes out the Boombot, then shifts on, moves the Aftershock onto the spike so a diffuse cannot go through, waits for the peak from the Graze and takes him out instantly. Stranger so calm and composed in these 1v1 last minute high pressure situations. It's a phenomenon to watch. Like, you really need to learn from him how to maintain your cool. Because damn, he's putting on a display of pure skill. Now mid control.
Exactly. Imagine he utilized that utility of that blast cannon to perfection. He's such a good breach, honestly. He utilized that blast cannon to even suppress his footsteps, but at the same time to not let the defuse happen. Wow, that's a little bit too aggressive Butsop right there. Even though you have someone blinded, you should not be pushing like that. Cosmic divides up for him, and even if they want to come in on the B side, that shouldn't really be that big of a deal. Oh, that's a great shot from Beast. Oh, there goes the ult to the waist. Party. Party seems like it's going to get denied easily. Prota got spotted by that. Now, pretty much the intentions have been revealed. There is one lad in the back lines. Oh, Stranger missing quite a decent amount of shots, but it's a 2-on-2 situation. Now it's down to 2-on-1. Lockdown pretty much invested as well from him. Plan should be going down, 27 seconds in the clock. Oh, Beast is going to be wrapping all the way around to the heaven, and I like this. I'm pretty sure the Astro's not going to be expecting him to wrap around this much. Oh, MSK is slowly, steadily moving on rafters. I'm pretty sure he has no clue that he's getting flanked. I would be pretty surprised if we do see a knife happening as well, but no. Instead, MSK did kind of look behind, and Beast had no other choice rather than to shoot his head out.
I really wanted to see Salt pick up the pace when they were playing those mid-to-B approaches, and they certainly did in this round. As you can see, the early aggression for Arrow doesn't pay off because Casper actually dodges that guiding light, meaning he only gets flashed partially, able to use his cracked aim, of course. to pick up the kill on WhatsApp, and that allows, knowing that the presence of that Jet Sky is towards the A, they just step up the pace, they move in aggressively to mid to B, and even though they lose a couple kills, the fact that they've got the trades translate into side control for them, and they push it all the way through. Now with the Showstopper and Cosmic Divide ready, the Cosmic Divide, the strongest possible ult on this map, they're gonna execute hard on A side, and there's absolutely nothing Arrow can do about it. It's just gonna be easy plant going down, and then on the post plant with the Showstopper, especially with this late lurk position that the Killjoy has, this is gonna be an extremely difficult retake for Arrow.
Arrow is pretty much on an eco. They only have Sheriffs in the hand, and as you did say, this is going to be extremely difficult for them to make the comeback happen here. Tiger's out to scout any kind of area, making sure they're not going to get flanked. Dark connecting that crucial headshot. That crucial shot that they needed. But look at Casper. This is a great kind of crossfire being set up, but hold on. Arrow might just do a decent amount of damage. Yes, they do. They're able to turn the tables in their favor slowly and steadily, but Trick also delivers. And this time it seems like Salt will strike Arrow down.
And again, that Killjoy playing such a crucial role because the amount of attention he directs towards him, even though Darky pulls off these amazing plays, imagine Darky actually pulling off these shots and having his team enter the site at the same time, meaning that even when he got killed in that elbow area, his team would have been able to trade. But because Beast pulled so much attention towards him, Darky went solo. And yeah, we see those fluffy toys, the Kingdom Corporation fluffy toys being sold. By the way, a tiny little fact for you guys. Split is the headquarters of the Kingdom Corporation. This is where all of the Radianite ends up for processing at the end of the day. And this is where those Radiants might be built. But hey, once again, with control, the op is ready though. What's up with a nice shot, but an instant trade. I would say with the op being down, that's a favorable trade for Salt.
Yep, that's favorable trade. Honestly, the op was needed to go down. If the op was up for a long time, then Salt was up for a challenge. But now, Salt should be feeling a little bit better as the operator is already off the board. 3 players spotted in mid. That's a massive kind of info already given away. But look at this. A side presence is being shown. On B side, there's no one. Pretty much the 2 players on to heaven. Darky slowly, steadily moving away. That's a great spot from his side. There comes the stun. Darky being spotted. Both of the players are pretty much spotted out. Oh, the Sky's ready with the flash. Proto is ready with the flash. And as soon as he hears any kind of sound cues, he's going to be utilizing it. Does utilize it, though. Commitment isn't there from the last assault. Wow, that's great 2K. And this is what they needed to open a lot of things up. This is 4-on-2 situation. What else can they do? But Trick a little too late to be make that wall. So Arrow going to be capitalizing onto it. 2 to 3 situation. What? Stranger that run and gun with the Phantom and still manages to connect through the smoke. Oh man. And they said it was nerfed.
5-2 for Salt, and I'm loving the way they're picking up the pace again and again. The minute they see presence from the side of Arrow on some side of the map, they just aggressively push in, and this is the real downfall of this Sky. But let's not take anything away from Casper. Again, this is the same position that he shut down Butsab in when they went for that Sky that flash and the dash combo with Butsab on the Jet. Again, same exact position. They tried to punish him. He's like, last time I took 1, this time I'll take a double for myself. Has the top fragger position for himself. And with 5 out of 7 points and the Breach ultimate ready again, it's just going to be a simple execute for Arrow once again. The Showstopper has been pulled out. It's going to be a rocket and then a lot earthquake in the face of Salt. The Showstopper does miss though, and MSK able to find 1 kill, but Trick and Stranger able to pick out 1 kill each. And now the spike will go down and the Rolling Thunder is saved for the retake. Meaning, again, despite it being an eco for Arrow, there's no chance of them even doing damage to the side of Salt.
The Blade Storm's out from their side as well now. Arrow does really want to retake. The info shouldn't be given away. That Jet has already entered inside the elbow area. And look how much damage is being dealt. And yep, Salt. They seem pretty much unstoppable. They are feeling themselves inside Split, and they will pretty much make it happen. They do want to win this game. 6-2 is the scoreline. Slowly and steadily, Salt is building a massive lead and a strong and a solidified placement for themselves in the final.
Yeah, and the cherry on top of the cake, I would say, is that this is the attacking side. As strong as Breach is on the attacking side, you have a Sage KJ for your defensive side against a Sky only. It's going to be so hard for Arrow to actually go for executes, which they're known for on their own attacking side, that they're going to have to now look to pull back at least 3 more rounds on this side. You need to get at least to a 7-5 scoreline, because otherwise, even A4 might be too little, too less. Now Hats barely escaping the rat of that Boombot. The Rolling Thunder about to come through. Hasn't hit. Hats able to take out. Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Hats just took out his own teammate.
Oh no, that's not really good. Maybe they will have to pay the price for such a rookie mistake being made. And yes, Godchild trying to turn things around in his favor. It's a 2-4 situation. Our Assault's going to go for a... What? Still manages to take out Casper. That's kind of questionable play coming out from his side. Expected him to kind of flush this one out. Oh, he did connect through the wall there. Down to 69 HP. Tried to retrieve that operator, but wasn't really able to make it in time. Godchild from the back wraps around and takes him down.
I need this.
Really nice round picked up for Arrow, but like Hats, hello, we're gonna see on replay what happened. Like right there, the grenade, I guess, just not coordinated or communicated to the team, takes out Trick entirely. I think because of the smoke as well, they did get a little confused. The operator retrieved for Butsab. Now he's gonna get that free 5,000 credit weapon for himself, and that means that he can buy one of his teammates a weapon. So even though they lost 3 weapons, the damage is not as apparent, but the damage is still there. They only have 1 Spectre, and Butsab has to play on the light shield. Now Salt, we've seen this stubbornness from them before. Once again, going back to the A side, the dissipates coming out from the Astra as he just tries to hold on. MSK just trying to buy as much time as he can, but with that Killjoy lockdown shutting down the site and Hats taking heaven control, the wall should go down for screens and the plant should, but Hats too aggressive here, gets taken out, and that opens the floor for the retake. Now the wall will go down and Strick should end up playing this tiny cubby angle, but all of Arrow ready for the retake. The Sky Seekers to start it off.
The wall pretty much got broken down instantly. Cosmic Divide inbound. Oh, this is absolutely massive. I like that swamp grenade placement as well. Look at that. Seekers out from their side. They're trying to make the comeback happen, but Salt denies again. Opening has been found. This should at least get them feeling themselves. But Arrow, no though. They're fighting back strong. Oh, he's not really looking good on his magazine. He needs a fresh one. But before that, Godchild would close another round out. Oh, this is getting intense and this is getting real close.
I mean, the thing is, when you're playing against a Sky on retake who has their Seekers available, it's almost impossible. The only way you can pull it off is if you contest the choke points. And you can see Salt tried that. They tried to mow down Arrow in that choke point of screens, but it's just not possible because of the Seekers flying at them. Because of that, they have 3 extra targets to aim at. And the strength of the Seekers is that Split is a map of corners. There's so many corners for teams to hold and play on post plans that it becomes very hard to retake in general without the right flashes. But the fact that the Seekers tell you exactly which corners the opposite team is at just makes it a hell of an easy job. And once again, Butsab going for that early peak, but a really nice nanoswarm set up by Salt Esports, expecting a B main aggression, able to shut down the up angle, makes him commit that dash for just 1 nanoswarm. And amongst all of that, you can see this mid control being established. But more than that, look at Casper here, moved it aggressively onto A side, and they have no idea that he's here.
Do not have any kind of idea that he's here. The Tiger's out as well. Didn't manage to clear a lot of info out. Up till now, Salt's doing a great job dealing a decent amount of damage, even in a semi-buy there. Hats already did. Oh, he's down to 1 HP only. Look at that. Ah, even a little wind and he can die. Did manage to move away in the right nick of time. I like how they're backing off towards the B main slowly and steadily, but the op is posted. I don't like this. I don't really like this. Beast might just walk in, but he's first going to be setting up his turret, making sure if there's anyone that will just bait the shot out. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Butsab doesn't strike when the turret was there. Instantly, the race is back as well. Oh, that's a great blast cannon placement as well. And that's just going to be giving Salt an easy entrance onto the B side. Those spikes should be planted in 20 seconds left. Missed a lot of shots there, Trick, but it's fine. He can heal himself back up. Battle stage coming into play.
Ooh-wee. Salt Esports playing that round phenomenally. Mid control, all of it set up by the initial molly that Salt put in. The fact that Beast was able to get that molly to deny Butsab his initial angle. Even though he made a slight mistake there, put up the turret but did not wait for the turret to proc. It's nullified by the fact that the instant revive comes through and forces Butsab to take a peek because of the aftershock placement from Stranger. What's up? Of course, that's an impossible shot to hit. I mean, not impossible, I would say, but like very, very improbable. So he goes down and Salt pick up the round 7-4 now. Both the teams have the bias, but one Spectre for Arrow does make it favorable for Salt. But given the fact that Arrow have the showstopper, that rocket in the face of Salt could make some damage happen. Now, very weird bunny hops here from Trick. Does end up being a collateral with Trick and Stranger going down. Does mean a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Team Arrow. They have the favorable position and they have the ults. They should be able to make it 7-5 here.
It's a 4-3 situation going on for now. And look at this. Arrow's doing quite a great job giving a tough fight to Salt in the previous map. If the viewers are just joining in, to let you guys know, it's a 2-1 going on right now, and this is the fight for the third one. And if Salt takes this in their hand, they're going to be winning it. Casper, that's a questionable move, my man. You did not even clear the ramps area and instantly started placing your smokes. That's kind of a rookie move being made. And CA, what are your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, I feel like it was a flurry of mistakes. First, Gottschalk. I don't see why he has to peek. He has the showstopper. This is the last round. You know where Casper is in the corner. You can just do that. But then Casper making a similar mistake. But hey, back to the round. Beast able to pick up one, but will not be able to pick up the second. It is Arrow securing this round, making it 5-7. And I will say, despite all of the stumbles that Arrow have had in this round, in this half, I did say that I think at minimum I want them to get to 7-5, and they have achieved that. So definitely now an opportunity to try and come back on the attacking side, which, while not necessarily stronger on Split the way it is on Breeze, it is inclined towards Arrow because they are a much more aggressive team and they have the double duelist combo with the Sky. So you can just go for aggressive rush control. They put it in the face of the side of Team Salt Esports. But for Salt Esports, this is where it's going to come in huge how they play that stage Killjoy. Almost always, you never see the stage actually walling off mid, with the exception of the pistol round, of course, because the mid wall is huge on the pistol round. But after the pistol round, you see the stage wall either being used for A main and B main, and that allows the Raze actually to play for mid control, where she can use her utility to delay piece by piece by piece, trade the utility, which makes the Sky kind of useless, because if you're trading all of your utility in the mid area, then you have nothing to actually execute on the side.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Timeout was being called from Arrow there. Actually, from Salt. Apologies. And first half has came into play. If Salt's able to win this round, that means the Salt domination will be there, and there are higher probable chances that we might just see Salt closing out this round as well in their favor. I mean, this map as well in their favor, and they will pretty much, moving forward. But I really want to see what they've got in their sleeve now as they've taken the timeout. Maybe they just want to switch things up a little bit here and there. It would be interesting to see what they've got, though. And aggressive wall from Sage.
Oh, wow.
Playing that Battle Sage is, of course, kind of like giving me such good vibes. Try to kind of jump spot anyone down. That was a pre-fire being made as well. Salt, though, I really like how they're playing for info, taking little bit peeks here and there, shoulder peeks, jump peeks. Any kind of info they get is really valuable and precious for them.
I really like the defaults from the side of Salt Esports. As I was talking about, the Sage Wall way better in A main, B main. You can see it in mid a couple of times in pistol, but they're just like, we're gonna cut off the extremes. And because of that solo wall, you can see they're allowed to stack up mid and B so heavily, which is where Arrow have got their eyes set. Now with the reach flash coming in, they use it to get a quick peek, and that gives them a lot of info. Because now with the pain grenade, if the Hats actually spots anything coming through, like the Boombot, he can just throw in the grenade, delay the push. Doesn't actually do it. So a delayed grenade here does mean that B having control is gained for Arrow, but only temporarily. We have to go back, and that paint shell did a ton of damage. Beautifully timed by Hats.
But he's down to such low HP as finally falls down. Now Salt trying to regain the control on the Heaven there. Casper just got dominated on. Even though he's holding that down angle, did not expect Proto to take such a wide fall. Trick is on the side, his position still hasn't been compromised. There's a plant. I feel like Trick should have peeked from the left side first rather than peeking from the right, but it doesn't matter. They can't there to back him up. Oh, the time's running out. The time's running out, and I feel like this is it. Salt has gone the round in their backpack easily. Wow. Well played.
Stranger is danger. Again, able to deny that spike plant. So he picks up a triple for himself in that round. And the fact that he's able to deny that spike plant and the fact that they went for an open plant, they couldn't go for a safe plant even because Strick was holding on site itself behind that billboard. So it meant that Salt just played it to perfection given their positions. And hold on, Stranger, please buy a weapon. I really hope Stranger picks up a weapon.
Probably he will. Probably he will. For now, again, Arrow looking pretty broke. Of course, they lost the second half's pistol round. And as I did mention, if they win this, if Salt wins this, there's massive probable chances that they might just take it. The Boombot also did quite a bit of damage onto him, and that turret will take down Darky. Wow, that's one of those rare moments we witnessed out there. Stranger slowly and steadily moving around. The turret has been taken down. Stranger, the call probably should have been made that one lad from them is down to such low HP. That's a great double dink from Casper. Killing himself. That's a great crossfire coming out from these lads. MSK moving around. One last man alive. Proda peeks out, takes one down, and the trade is there instantly. I like how well coordinated. Look at this. There's such a massive difference in the gameplay of they showed on Breeze and now compare that to
Yeah.
Split. They just seem so well coordinated, and even the peaks that they take, I feel like each and every single is just really well coordinated now. Salt is just a real good team in the Pakistan region. I have to give props to them. Without a doubt, they're one of the best.
Definitely, you can see how much better they understand their defaults. The Sage plays the anchor role on A, allowing the Breach to be that flexible player who can support both the Killjoy, who's playing the pseudo anchor role. Yeah, she is going to play solo on B, but she's playing it under the assumption that she's always got support from mid, from both Hats and Stranger, who are playing to contest mid. This allows Casper as well to play a much more flexible role. If the Sage wall gets taken down early, then Casper plays from ramps and helps out the Sage. But if the Sage wall doesn't get taken down early, then he can move towards mid and play the other angle. Now look at this though. As I explained it, the default's going to get switched up. This time we're going to see a B main Sage wall and KJ playing the anchor on that A side. This allows for Casper to actually play a lot more freely because he doesn't have to wait for the Sage wall to go down to play ramps. He can take an aggressive peek on ramps and then just go back to mid once again. And here Trick is going to use the help of this Breach. So I expect an early fault line to help Trick get an early presence into Garage and then an aggressive ball to get the ult off for himself.
Exactly. 95 is the scoreline. Salt again looking to pretty much dominate. Now this round is of course going to be really important for Arrow. I mean, on the other hand, Salt definitely does have that little bit of disadvantage with those Spectres, but still, what Trick can exactly do is let them slide inside, and then maybe a little bit of trigger discipline with that Spectre and some close range engagements can help him fight against those Phantoms and Vandals. Look at that. Astra using the abilities. Casper trying to deny the mid push as much as possible, or at least trying to slow them down. Tiger's out. Has spotted 3 players on heaven. This should change Arrow's minds a little bit. So much audio gets given away. I don't really like how much info Arrow has already given away, and at the same time, Salt trading infos for infos. That's a good flash from their side. Should deny any pushes from Vents, at least for now. Arrow, though, look at how much info they've already got, even on the heaven side. Oh, Casper peeks in at the right time, but was not really able to deal enough amount of damage. Look at that. Kind of man advantage is already looking good on the Arrow. But Salt slowly and steadily moving on to be A side as well. The rotations are happening. There are already 3 players onto there. And we already do see Killjoy kind of anchoring. That's the beast we want to see. Beast strikes, finds one. Stranger as well trying to fight. It's a 3-on-3 situation going on. Stranger again strikes. Whenever this man strikes, he just delivers. And you can always expect greatness out of this man. Ultimate being used, and yep, final man falling down just like that. Easily stomped on, just like Thieves in the Night, stealing that round away as well. 10-5 is the scoreline, and well, it seems like maybe I should get a little bit of recognition for that, what's it called, for prediction being made by me.
I definitely, Necro. Hey, props to you, hey? For getting it, not just the scoreline, but I mean, not just the team, but the exact scoreline. But it's not over yet. So I'll give you the props after this map is over, but yeah, it's very unlikely that it doesn't actually go the way you predicted, because right now Salt are dominating. I will say, like, while that ult may seem a little weird from Stranger, I love it. Like, leaving no stone unturned, he recognizes this is finals, and this map can get us the win. So I'm not gonna leave a single stone unturned, investing everything to make sure he's got that round in the bag. Again, that B main anchor on that stage allows for a heavy stack onto A, and those nano swarms shutting them down. What's up? Managed to get a kill on Casper, but Beast is certainly one able to pick up double, and now Hat's gonna come through. Get the instant info on MSK, and he's taking a lot of damage. Arrow faltering in every possible way, and even though Darky is deep into the side, he's not gonna get any move that can be made because the aftershock shutting him down. Stranger ready with the crosshair placement. Salt are just dominating in every possible way.
Stranger's completely bullying Arrow here. What's going on? Right now, Arrow's getting dominated, bullied. You can call any kind of possible word in these kind of moments. Salt. I mean, one last man is alive from Arrow. What can you expect from Proto as well? I kind of feel bad for him. He's down to such low HP. Oh, Beast as well is down low, though. That's a great flash. Pushing in at the right moment. Will at least find a kill on the Beast, but the trade happens instantly.
I know it's first to 13, but this is the buy round for Arrow now. And this is it. It's now or never. Do or die. If you lose this round, it's over. It's definitely over because Salt are not gonna give away a Thrifty in map 4 of their winning map points, series point position here. So if you lose this round, it might just be over. But hey, I definitely do want a coffee. So thank you, observers, for showing me the menu right there. Hey, let's take a look at the prices. It doesn't say credits, so I'm not sure what currency you're supposed to use in the Kingdom Corporation series. But I guess one day we might take a trip there and find out. Eh, Necro?
Yeah, of course. We'll also make a vlog about it. Not a doubt. But look at this. For now, let's get our heads back into. Oh, what? That's a great shot. Hat's catching him off guard. What's up? I'm sure he's going to be disappointed. They wanted to make a fast push, but got instantly denied. Do they still want to commit? This is a pretty tough situation that Arrow has found themselves in. Trick slowly, steadily moving in. Trick is there. Did get decent. I wouldn't say he did get any info, but still, Raze was spotted. Even Sky Flash was being used, so at least they know two players are there. MSK now moves in onto the side. They're straight up walking in their crosser. What's happening? It seems like Arrow has pretty much given away. They should have at least tried to use any kind of mental tricks there. But no, Proto finds himself that one frag. It's a 3-on-1 situation, and I still feel like there's a massive chance that, I mean, yeah, clutch can happen, but Salt, I feel like they are going to be clutching this round out. I mean, not clutching, winning this round. Things are looking in their favor, and good luck, Proto.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, we did say it's now or never, and I guess it's never for the side of Arrow. Proto doesn't have much utility. I think he will be getting his guiding light back and cooldown up, but he's just walking in, and the timing is going to be so bad. The jiggle comes in from Stranger. He's not going to take any risks. Calls for the gravity well and pulls Proto and Arrow in to their demise. Map and series point for Salt Esports as they look to establish themselves as the first representative of Pakistan, Afghanistan. Looking back to this round, I have to mention, like, for the side of Team Arrow, when you're using those Seekers, do not use them at a choke point on split, because while, yeah, the Seekers give you a lot of information, it also sends out like a big red sign to the defenders. Everyone is coming to the single choke point, just spam, 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 spam. And spam,
Exactly.
gravity well, grenade, everything. And you want to follow up on the Seekers, but you can't. And if you just stay back, your Seekers become useless. So try to take mid control and then use the Seekers, so they're then confused which side you're coming from. You could be coming from A, you could be coming from B, and that way you got mid control and a wealth of options. But a small note for Arrow to improve on in Qualifier 2, because do remember, they're not out just yet. Even in this map, they're not out. But at this point, it's extremely improbable. I still won't say impossible, because comebacks are possible. But it's extremely improbable as me getting to Radiant, I would say.
Yep.
So let's see. Maybe Arrow just go on Beast mode, but it looks like Salt have the Beast mode already on Beast, so it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Exactly, it does look like it. It's 5-12. The scoreline's looking like that. Beast. Ball's already in the aggressive stage wall as we'd like to see it, and Arrow butts up though. Well, let's see. They do know it's a do or die situation, so you might as well give it your best shot. Salt, hopefully you guys don't overstep, and yes, finally falls back instantly. I like that he's not overcommitting in those angles. Arrow moving in slowly and steadily. Godchild is sitting just there. Hat's playing the situation out as slow as possible. I like how shoulder peeking, jiggle peeking, trying to get any kind of info. Salt first try to get info, and then only they try to react towards it, which is absolutely great. And this is what I noticed or witnessed even yesterday against Team Exploit. This is the same thing they were doing, trying to get as much as info as possible and then try to react accordingly to it. That's why I really personally liked Salt's gameplay in general. But look at that. Arrow playing this situation out as slow as possible. Stranger pretty much senses a lot of fear on the ramps. That's why he's falling back. But now I feel like is the moment where Stranger might just peek. But no, look at that. Even though Salt has a massive lead inside this round,
30
because
seconds
of that,
left.
because of that timeout, they have said no matter what, do not get overconfident. That's a great blast cannon right there. Force him out of that position. Oh, great shot. Straight with a beautiful flash there. And then instantly backs it up with an incredible gun power. And as you did say, it's over. There's no any other hope left. It's
The showstopper.
It's a 3-on-5. Yep. The showstopper as well being used. No value gained out of this. You know what, CA, my friend? Take it over, man.
I mean, at this point, we both said it. It's over. The lockdown, just to confirm it. 4v2. It's Salt being robbed into Arrow's wounds right now, and they haven't been able to hit the mark at all. I love the fact that it was Stranger getting the last kill, because he is 100%. I will cry if he's not the MVP of the series. I will 100% cry. You can see the ecstasy on the faces of Salt Esports. They are your champions of the Pakistan and Afghanistan Qualifier 1 series. You can see Stranger just absolutely jubilant, and he deserves all the praise in the world, and as well as the entire team of Salt Esports, the #1 representatives of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and currently the best team in that region.
Exactly, currently the best team in that region. Yup, Salt, you guys have won my heart without a doubt, and also, look, you know what? I'm not gonna say it right now. I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna save it for later. Okay, I'm not gonna say it right now. See, you say whatever you wanna say for now.
We all know what Nectar is gonna say, but I'm not gonna steal your moment, man. I'm gonna let you deliver it when you want. I have to say though, Salt, phenomenal performance. If I'm not mistaken, this was 13-5, right? So if you forget Breeze for a second, 13-7, 13-6, 13-5, Salt got better along the way, and it was just phenomenal. I will say that the fact that Stranger is able to perform on Breach as well makes them so damn scary. Yeah. I think we've seen him on Sky as well one time. So this guy can play any initiator, and he plays it with pure finesse. The way he's able to calculate every single move, doesn't let a single piece of his kit go to waste, continuously making sure to get value out of everything. He is the epitome of what I want from an initiator player. Stranger, you deserve a bow, man. That was phenomenal.
Exactly. I mean, that was absolutely pretty much phenomenal. And overall, how they look now, I feel like we got a lot of talking points about Breeze. No, I mean, even though how dominant they were looking, Salt was looking, still, I really don't understand how did they lose Breeze that badly. I mean, it is pretty badly. It's 4-13. That's a massive scoreline difference, especially against a team like Arrow that they're easily stomping on.
I think the biggest difference did come through in terms of the tacticality, because you can see on all other 3 maps, tactically, Arrow was not even close to Salt Esports, but on Breeze, it just felt like Salt didn't know what the right moves to make were. And because of that, they were lacking tactically. And when it did come down to just pure aim battles, and that's where the Sova Sky is a better combo as compared to the Viper Omen. So, hey, for Breeze, Salt do have something to work on. They got plenty of time, almost an entire month before Grand Finals start.
Yep, almost an entire month before the Grand Final started. And Salt, man, this team, I got to give props to them. They're really flexible. No matter if you want to take that aggressive approach against them, they will always work around it. As I did mention, they first try to get as much as info as possible, and then they start reacting like that, which is really good. They don't just start, making decisions blindly. They only trust what they see. And this is what really is important in a competitive play. You should always trust what you see or what you hear. And this is what, like, sound cues, audio cues, and overall the visual cues are one of the most important pillars in FPS game, and this is what Salt is showing on board clearly. And if we talk about that, even if I feel like any team wants to take a tactical approach against Salt, I feel like Salt will pretty much do a great job tackling them as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Salt are just tactically apart. And the fact that I really love about this team is that yesterday we did ask them to step it up a notch, and they delivered.
Yeah.
They've shown that they've done the pre-match homework even yesterday against Exploit Storm, but they used that pre-match homework to just step up their gameplay a notch. They used the fact that they've continuously been able to improve and understand different aspects of their gameplay, to understand the nuances of their team. I feel like they've become a lot more comfortable in their individual roles. Even Hats, like, while he performed brilliantly on all of the maps, I go back to the map of Astra where he wasn't as great against Exploit Storm, but today he was on point with that Astra. He was always playing it safe, continuously understanding that him as the controller needs to make sure that he survives for as long as possible, and was pulling off beautiful lurks and beautiful usages of the gravity well on time. So I think in general, the entire team has really improved, and I can't wait to see how much they improve by watching other teams now, and how Stranger picks up that KO. I want to see this guy on a KO.
Yep. Exactly. Now take a look at this. The MVP, of course, and this one is Gothchild from Aero, and then from Salt is going to be Beast. Beast did quite a great job in that previous game. And of course, he does deserve to be there. But as you did say, throughout this overall series, right, this Pakistan Qualifiers and Pakistan-Afghanistan Qualifiers, you really want to see a Stranger being that MVP out there. And I feel like he probably will be, because he has been doing a great job. Look at that. Even with the breach, he has 3 first bloods, and he was pretty much like the second duelist in the team.
Exactly. Like, it's what I love. I've been saying this a lot. I've been talking about it ever since the patch notes came out in my analysis, that the idea that the brief is buffed, of course, because of the fact that the fall line and the rolling thunder are much bigger. But in my opinion, the bigger buffs are the equip and unequip times. They've narrowed it down from, I believe, 0.9 to 0.7 seconds, and those 0.2 seconds make a world of difference, because the sooner you have your weapon on, the longer your opponent is flashed, and you can actually use your flashes for yourself, as compared to like when before you would need a second person always to get the full value of those flashes. And you could see Stranger, he did that perfectly, using even the aftershock again and again. I still remember that clutch, the way he played around the elbow on A side, working it around and placing the aftershock perfectly to deny the diffuse and force the other player into his crosshair. He just knows exactly how to maneuver around his entire kit, and that's why I think him on KO will be a beast to watch.
Exactly. Him and KO will definitely kind of be a beast to watch in general. But yeah, Stranger, as you did say, the MVP of entire BO5 year with 65 freaking kills, man. It said on Bind he likes to play solo, on Ascent as well, on Breeze as well, and then on Split he played that Breach. A massive kind of change did come in there with pace as well, and at the same time, intentions also.
Yeah, absolutely. Stranger definitely deserving of this spot. 10 first bloods, 38 assists. Is there any like part of the game that he hasn't perfected to a T? Utility usage, tick. The fact that he's pulling off clutches, tick. The fact that he's getting first bloods when his team needs him to step up, big tick. So at this point, Stranger can do everything really well. I'm excited to see how he can improve. I feel like he definitely has the caliber to become a world-class player, you know, like one of those really famous international players. And I want to see how much further Salt can go in the Grand Finals itself, because this team has shown that once they get that time, once they get that space to improve, they certainly will. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to hear from them after their victory.
Exactly. I also cannot hear to what, like, you know, there is of course going to be an interview, like, to see what they have their thoughts on, what they thought of Aero in general. And I mean, what do you think of his thoughts is going to be for Aero? I mean, they just pretty much won this competition easily. I feel like the only talking points here are in the map of Breeze, because that was pretty questionable plays coming out from their side. I personally expected them to win Breeze as well, because the way they were dominating, it seemed like the cycle should be continuing in Breeze as well, but it didn't. 3-1, my predictions. I'm so proud.
Let's go. Necro will be in the chat for the prediction. Let's go. But hey, like to answer your question, I think for Breeze, what Salt really need to look at is the fact that they don't have a Sky in number 1. You gotta get that Sky in there. The Sova is just not worth it. Maybe even play Sova Sky double controller, double initiator. That could work. Viper, Omen, Sova Sky, Jet. I do like that composition. But if you don't want to play, if you do want to play the Sage, then I would sacrifice the Sova 100%. And the second thing is, I would say they're a team that is very good with their defaults. They depend on their defaults to a certain extent because, as you said, they rely on that mid-round info. But I want to see them learn those defaults in Breeze and come up. So let's look at the head-to-head stats. Stranger, of course, on one slide. The fact that he's being compared to a duelist just, I think, speaks volumes about what I'm trying to say about this player.
Exactly. I mean, even though he's not really a duelist main, but at the same time, he's being compared to a duelist. Imagine if Stranger is actually a Jet main in the future. I feel like Stranger, go ahead and play with Jet, man, because you are absolutely incredible. Go ahead and practice it, because imagine if you're already doing this good on, initiators and stuff and sentinels. So imagine what would you be able to do in future with duelists. Man, I can already imagine this man just putting on a show.
But I do love his utility usage, and I feel like there's a key shortage of extremely good initiator and controller players. So, Stranger, please don't play duelist. We have enough great duelist players. But yeah, I think he's going to stick to that initiator.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, 126 kills, though, compared to Godchild, who's playing the Reyna and the Raze. And KJ, of course, in one map, but the Reyna and Raze in general. Just Stranger playing phenomenally today. The fact that he has a better ACS as well, just on point. Like it was beautiful to watch him, and it was beautiful to see. I'm excited to see what else we can see from Salt Esports in the future. But hey, a glimpse of our co-casters on the other side. They're the ones who are going to be bringing you guys the interview real quick. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you hear from Salt, because you want to give them the attention. You want to hear from them how they improve bit by bit. And that's the really exciting part.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the upcoming graphics are going to be for the top 5 players. So I'm really interested to see who there are, because even though the Salt was doing quite a great job, we do know other teams were there as well who are trying to play, and Team Exploit is one of those. So I mean, we did see some greatness coming out of Team Exploit. So I really want to see what do they have to show in top 5 players. And here we go. Of course, Team Exploit's King is there with the most amount of kills. I mean, not really most amount of kills, but yeah, he's there on the first page. Then on the second, you see Salt Stranger coming in as well. So it's pretty much interesting stats.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But you can see the players who really made the impact. I'm excited to see players like King come back in Qualifier 2 with Exploit Storm. I want to see if they can rally back after a disappointing loss, I would say, and a disappointing performance to come back strong in Qualifier 2, because they have got that option. And we'll see if they are able to pull it off.
Exactly. And take a look at this. Qualifier for playoffs from India Qualifier, you have Velocity Gaming. And now from for Qualifier for playoffs from Pakistan and Afghanistan Qualifier #1, you have Salt Esports going in. So congratulations, Salt Esports, and congratulations, Pakistan region in general. You guys have a talent that is absolutely outstanding, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do a pretty good job giving a tough competition to the teams that are going to be qualifying in the future as well. So I mean, hey, I feel like they do deserve a round of applause here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them that round of applause.
Definitely, like Salt have been outstanding, and as you said, they deserve every piece of credit that you could possibly give them. So I'm excited to see how this team keeps going. But I do want to talk about like the fact that these other 3 key teams from Pakistan and Afghanistan, how cracked they are, and how much more we're going to see. But for now, we have Salt Esports lined up, so let's quickly mosey on over to the interview. For today, that's all that's going to be from us. Bye-bye, guys. Enjoy the interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Clear?
अगर कल के दिन से कंपेयर करें तो आज हमने काफ़ी इजी होके खेला. इतना प्रेशर नहीं था, इतना कल प्रेशर था. बट वही एरो ने काफ़ी अच्छी फाइट दी. और 20 के अंदर तो हमें लिटरली 20 के अंदर कुछ पता नहीं था क्या करना है. हम सिर्फ तफरी कर रहे थे उस मैप के अंदर. खैर,
I think it's just convenient. Oh fuck.
ये चीज़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. टीम का जब तक माहौल अच्छा नहीं होगा ना, आप कभी जीत नहीं सकते. हमेशा टीम का माहौल ठंडा होना चाहिए, तभी जीतते हैं. माइंडसेट टीम का अच्छा होगा, टीम भी अच्छी होगी.
हाँ, 2 मिनट.
Hello. We can quit, right? Link sub.
Yo, CA, hello. He's gone. Oh my god. All right, man.
ट्राई
Yo, peace,
करेंगे,
bro. I'll
नई
catch
नई
you
चीज़ें
later,
ट्राई
man.
करेंगे, क्योंकि अब उसके अंदर न्यू मेटा होगा, क्योंकि
Have a good night.
केओ की एंट्रेंस भी होगी शायद, तो उस हिसाब से सब चीज़ें दोबारा रिवर्क करना पड़ेगा, बट इंशाल्लाह हम हेल्दी कंपटीशन देने के लिए तैयार हैं. थैंक यू सो मच. वेलकम. थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
I'm getting freaky.